4 of them speak good English. Well, I had 3 up because I don't speak that good English, so they speak good English. But the only one that didn't, which is Tania, like he understands, but he can't speak that well.
Yeah.
So that's why they said our highest chance to win is to speak Russian, and I heavily disagree because I put myself above Tania in the pecking order. I love.
The world is changing quickly. Shoot it.
The world is changing, but one thing remains the same. Victories with 1xBet.
Are you tired of your boring old skins? Head to Trade It and trade them for exciting new ones within seconds. With 24/7 support, massive inventory, free giveaways, and low fees. Trade It is the highest rated trading platform in the market. What are you waiting for? Start trading today for a $5 bonus, only on Trade It.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Counter-Strike fans around the globe, welcome to another episode of HLTV Confirmed, and this one is, I think, the weirdest we have ever done. Prof, Striker, myself, Lucas on the 1s and 2s. We are coming in live from the bush of the Shepherd's Bush. It's near Chelsea. We are in the White City House. I saw it was on my wristband.
Oh.
Yeah.
And this is near, where I just said Chelsea, that was where my father was born.
Okay.
Hence your British citizenship.
Yeah, I have a passport. I got in here nice and easy. Scanned that bad boy. Got in. Didn't have to talk to anybody. And my sister is actually named after the city of Chelsea.
Really? Okay.
So is she?
Now you
is
just-
her name Chelsea or is it something
Her
else?
name is Chelsea.
Now you doxed your sister. Now everyone's going to be searching for Chelsea Birchall. But she's probably not Birchall anymore.
She's not, actually.
Okay.
You're right. She's not. She's married. She's got a little kid. She's got another one on the way. So congratulations to her.
I have a question. Do you still hear the music going on?
Yeah, fucking love it.
I love
It's popping.
Yeah,
This
I
is
didn't
great.
actually realize that we still had that.
I need
just
a
playing
shout out
music
to the
for us.
sponsors. Of course, 1xBet, remember to gamble responsibly, and trade.gg. If you're in the marketplace for some skins, check them out. People like skins. You guys like skins?
Apparently. Not really.
I actually don't even have a knife.
Oh, well, maybe
Me
trade.gg can hook you up with that.
Yeah, that would be a first.
You know your skin is your biggest organ.
Yeah, I know this.
Yeah. But it is the weirdest
But you
podcast.
know which organ can expand the most?
Your heart.
Not that one.
Definitely not. It definitely breaks.
Or what
It's
organ?
the intestine.
Makes
Okay.
sense. It does make sense. Now, as mentioned, we are in the White City House. Is this what they call a mixer?
I guess.
It's kind of a mixer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now this is put on by Blast.
Yes.
Which is strange because on this screen right here, Astralis versus VP is still going on right now.
Well, the timing is not the best, but it is what it is. You know, we're just working with what we have.
Well, look, I don't know if it's what we have or what we don't have. I was just seeing if people.
Are people saying things
I was
about
just
the
seeing if
music?
people
or?
were talking about the music. No one's talking about
So
the music.
just
The
we
music
are
is just for
hearing
us.
music.
For
I
vibes.
kind of like it. It is really a party atmosphere in here. It is like we're in a club right now. We're just
Yes.
having a conversation
Yes,
about our own.
it's definitely pumping us up, pumping
Yeah.
up the jam, as they say, and it's not allowing you to like tone down. We're just like 400,
Yeah.
300 BPM
Full hype.
right there.
Now, we have a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to get Andrew Hawthorne, the VP of Ecosystems for Blast, on a little bit later. And as I said, this is a Blast shindig. We're in the shindig.
Yeah, they set us
people
up here
don't
with
even
the area.
recognize that we're here.
That's great. I
They're
love
just
that.
getting on with the...
Nobody cares. Yes.
But now, this, I don't have to say this. I asked you, I checked. But Revolut are like partnered with Blast or sponsoring Blast for this one, and I'm with Revolut. And maybe when Andrew comes on, I can see how well he knows the Revolut people. If he can get me Ultra, if I could,
Yeah.
because I'm on
I
metal.
have Ultra.
Lucas has Ultra.
Yeah,
I bought it.
Lucas is listening to the conversation, but he hasn't still noticed that we are actually listening to music as we talk.
Lucas, what's going on with the music, man?
we can't stop it. We can't stop
Wait,
the
stop.
music.
Did it fix?
No, we are still
wait,
hearing
wait, wait,
music.
Yeah.
Now
we
we
just
don't.
hear
Now we don't.
Yeah,
It's the
that's-
background
now it's just
music.
it's just the party music.
So sorry.
Okay.
But the whole time we
But,
could, Lucas.
apparently,
I thought it was
Ultra-
background
Ultra
music.
gives you free Tinder. That's what Lucas told me.
Yep.
And a VPN. You get a VPN with it. That's what I'm most excited about, of course. You get this travel insurance. No, travel insurance you have with Metal. But we're not doing a plug for Revolut until Andrew gets here, and then I can ask him, and then I could do a plug for Revolut and see if I get sponsored. Now, I had quite the travel day. I got up this morning, and then I went to the airport, and then my plane was delayed, and then my plane went for 3.5 hours, and I had all these British fucks around me, and they were all talking English, and that sucked. And then I landed in Gatwick, and then it took 2.5 hours from Gatwick to Wembley.
That's rough.
And then another half an hour to here.
Yes, yeah. After I attempted to nap, but I did have Nando's.
Oh,
Okay.
cheeky.
You got in last night?
Yeah, also super late. Also took like an hour and a half in the middle of the night. I landed at like 11, I think, or I landed at 10:30. By 11, we were out at the airport. Everything was super fast. You scan the airport, everything is super easy. But the cab ride to here took an hour and a half because apparently at midnight or 12:30 there was a traffic jam.
Yeah.
Where are
Just
people
London-
going?
Just
What are they
London
doing?
things. I don't
It's
understand.
a city that never sleeps. It's like New York, but
Yeah.
in Europe. Well, not in Europe
It
anymore.
kind of is, though.
Not
It is in
Europe.
Europe, just not in European Union.
When did you get here, Mr. Svanemir?
Also, yesterday, but a bit earlier.
Yeah, you and Bogdan?
Yeah, kind of similar time.
It is the Bogdan of Bogdan's Law, correct?
It's not the same one. It's not the same one, but he's a great Romanian guy, our new event manager, who is helping us here. And I can tell you, him and Lucas have an amazing chemistry.
Really?
They're like completely opposites of one another, and they're sharing a room. So it's like from the first moment, it was all like fires everywhere.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's they're canceling each
Like
other out.
sparks.
Yes.
Okay.
They're canceling each other out, and I think it's working well. I know we had a slight delay here, but overall, the experience has
That was
been.
because Lucas needs a new laptop.
That is true. That is true.
Need to get Martin on the
Maybe
phone
even
about
an
that one.
actual computer. We'll see. We'll see.
Traveling with an actual computer.
Ooh.
Now you're getting crazy.
Yeah, we invested in some gear. We're ready to travel to more locations, do more shows, maybe like more shows from the same location.
You guys can come to Malta and use my apartment anytime.
That
Yeah, we
sounds
could do
that
that.
sounds pretty good.
It just means you have to come to me. But look, I have multiple bedrooms, and you wouldn't need to pay for anywhere to stay.
right.
either.
Can I sleep in the podcast room?
Yeah, you can sleep in the podcast room.
That'll be
yeah.
amazing.
That's the one with the nicer bed. So
Okay.
yeah, you'd like that one a little bit more. Now, as
Thank you.
mentioned, look, I can work something out. We got a lot to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
And the group stage was going on up until today. So it was only 2 days, Wednesday, Thursday, worth of group stage. And only 2 teams got eliminated. But it's our favorite team. The team that we like talking about all the time. Saw, of course, everyone's
It
favorite
was.
coach.
Did you see the interview? Muterus, I think.
Yeah.
He said it's unfair that 2 teams get eliminated before the playoffs, before the arena. And I'm like,
Is that taken out of context by any chance?
I don't know.
or-
I didn't read the interview, so I can't say. But that was the headline. So I'm like, interesting headline.
Okay.
Interesting headline.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I think it's unfair that not more than 2 teams were eliminated before the playoffs. If I'm going to be honest with everybody. The fact that we had like seeding games again yesterday, but apparently they had
Yeah.
big ramifications. Phase, bye.
Yeah.
Lost to Vitality today. They're knocked out, and I suppose Australis are going to get knocked out by VP in not too long, by the looks of things.
Hopefully,
Uh,
so then we can get people into this stream and not that stream.
That's okay. People will watch this later, and they'll be like, "Wow, this was a vibe. I wish I was there when it was live," and then they weren't, and maybe they'll show up next time. But no, we should talk about G2.
Yes.
You guys, you pulled the trigger a bit early, Prof. We could have kept the what are the odds on Taz HooXi rating?
Well, I mean, it's just one series, right? It wasn't the
One
entire
series
thing.
is enough.
But the one series, he did it.
I'm sorry.
HooXi just
For the
dropped
event,
after that.
Hey, mate. Not only has he dropped after that, he's probably dropped after that. isn't It's not
Okay.
looking good
Yikes.
for HooXi, is it?
Yeah.
But we changed it.
We love Erasmus.
We changed.
And-
Well, we do, but he is going to get replaced.
I was about to enter the Church of GigaChan until they lost the second map to Spirit, and then everything went to shit from
You
there.
can't be getting 5 kills a map.
That's true.
You
Did
can't
see,
be getting
Did you
5
see
kills.
Launders' tweet? It was kind of interesting.
What did he say?
He essentially the gist of the tweet was like a screenshot of the thing of his kills, of HooXi's kills, and
Yeah.
the development over time. Feel free to walk in, no problem, photographer man. Yeah, and it was like trending towards a 0. You know, it's less and less every time. And he
okay.
said like it's just a matter of time before he starts averaging 0 kills, which is practically coaching. Which is kind of the implication that maybe he should like transition to that role. I just thought it was like an interesting, kind of like a meta way of thinking, of the game.
Being trending towards coaching has to be the biggest diss of all time.
Look, I think that the big storyline around this team is, are there going to be roster changes, right? But just for this event, if we focus on obviously the Monacy drama, not ideal. I think I saw an interview with Nexus saying, we're focusing more on who we're going to be playing with as opposed to the opponent, which definitely sucks. But they've had 2 back-to-back events where their scenarios have essentially been movies. Obviously, one with the Stewie American hero soaring through the skies on the back of a bald eagle, dropping bombs on everybody in the true American fashion. And then you've had, obviously, this Monacy situation with, will he make it, will he not make it? And then he arrives, and he hasn't played Counter-Strike for 2 days, and they're playing against another top-tier team, and they get eliminated off the back of that. And it's obviously not his fault. I don't think anybody would be blaming him, but it's another one of these scenarios which is just G2 being the content machine, right? But that's that. There's not really much else to discuss. There's no point really discussing the Counter-Strike. Monacy and Nico, good. Hunter could still be salvaged. The other two...
Not so much. But I just don't... I think this event is just absolutely irrelevant to any of the G2 discussion. I don't think it matters at all just because of the situation they were in. I mean, who was expecting them to do anything with Taz in the first series? And even if Monacy comes in, he literally came in...
They won a map!
They won a map.
They won a map! I couldn't believe it!
I will give them that. And I was saying this on Twitter, I was about to give up on Reason and join a religion after that, because I was like, there's no fucking way that they will actually do anything more than this. And they didn't. Almost fortunately, because I would have.
I still can't believe they won a map.
I would have had to question my entire existence if they actually won a series
already am,
against Spirit. A little bit, yeah. But what I was getting to was, I just don't think that this event says anything about G2, and I think it's kind of over for them already. It was already.
Well, the malbs email.
Apparently,
how does it feel to be the Australian overdrive?
I don't know. It's pretty good, actually. The guy sent me a few more emails since, actually. So let me just get in here. Let me just get in here.
New information.
No, there's no new information. What did he say? He said, "Hey Chad, please tell Prof to kiss my reliable ass. All love though. Hope you're having a great day, dude." And then he said, "Appreciate keeping my identity hidden."
There we go.
And then he sent me another one today, and he said, "Hey Chad, quote." To back your vitality argument and experience, and then he has this from an interview with X. Well, it's a from your, that says a lack of experience or character is vitality's biggest issue.
That is an insane take to me.
So this guy's my favorite guy. Just keep sending me emails, bro.
Pretty good. I mean, it's working out for you, right? You're here breaking stories.
This is some Fight Club bullshit. This is literally him, when he goes to sleep and wakes up and sends himself not Sponge Virtual at Gmail, and it's like, whoa, what the hell?
Do we think Malbs is joining though?
I mean, we have very credible information. I mean, we reported
so just so everyone.
No, this is not based on you. This is entirely separate. I don't know what.
Did we just go out in here for a second?
I don't know. I can't tell.
Okay, I hope we didn't. That kind of freaked me out.
I couldn't.
I think you did.
Okay.
Oh, let's go.
It did.
Okay.
People started looking
I think
over.
you did.
Shit, it got a bit weird.
Okay.
All right.
So it's time for Mr. Allworth.
Oh, you want to do that now?
I mean, that's when we agreed upon getting him on.
Well, I'll signal Bogdan, and Bogdan will get Andrew Hawthorne, and we'll get him up here. And then, I think we're going out to the room.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. All right. So, official introductions again. We've had you on, before, obviously, the awards at the start of the year.
That was a wonderful
again,
weekend.
Andrew Hawthorne, VP of Ecosystems, and a lot to talk about today.
There's a bit of things going on, isn't there?
Well, there's some congratulations with the major. That's the biggest breaking news. Well, some people already spoiling it out here beforehand, right? But the official news going out today about Austin and the first major of next year. So congratulations. That's going to feel damn good.
It does, yeah. Thank you. That's incredible for us. It was the first major also awarded after Paris, so I feel pretty proud of that. That's a bit of vindication of an opportunity to do a really good job again.
I thought when you said vindication, as if Paris went badly somehow.
No. But it's a good opportunity that we can grow from that, and we were super proud of Paris. But obviously, we always want to do more and bigger and more exciting things, which hopefully we'll do. And
head the majors back to America.
I think there is. It's not been there for a while, has it?
Yeah,
2018?
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
And the last one was a monumentous one indeed. That we obviously the Cloud9. So you're planning any scripted storylines for that one?
Well, we obviously managed a long program of making sure Vitality won in Paris, which was harder to do but worth it. much better for the audience. So I've got a couple of my inbox from the NA org, seeing what we can script for them. So
Liquid's a duo win, I think.
We'll hear their proposals and we'll build something from there. But I think it's really exciting. We know that you guys have talked about it before. The crowds in any American tournament have been fantastic. It's a great. I mean, Austin's an incredible city. If any of you have been there, obviously you'll get the chance to next year. It's a really welcoming, fun place to be. The Moody Centre's incredible. It's really downtown, in the vibe of the city. It'll be a great place to be.
Are you going to invite Elon Musk or Joe Rogan? I know that they're Texan residents. Are you going to see if they want to come on out?
Well, they'll put their name in a hat to get a ticket, and if they're lucky enough, there'll be a lot of demand, obviously.
Yeah.
Austin's a great centre for that. Like, there's a lot of big tech companies based there. There's a huge university campus that the Moody Centre's owned by. There's a sort of college football stadium that's at 95,000 cap next to it, which
crazy.
is incredible. It's just a great city, and I think it's a good destination for fans to come to. It's a really welcoming place. It should be a really exciting place to put on a major.
Yeah, for sure.
Before we go on to the 2025 stuff, I think the question everyone wants to hear answered: the trophy. Is it returning the Paris one, or are we just making it?
I know people really want. That's what Valve said. We said we love the trophy. Come back.
This is the reason why you got another one.
I think we could make it smaller. Maybe put it in a Texas heat and let it melt a bit more. No, we're gonna maybe that is the vindicated part of the major.
Okay,
No, you have to double down.
I had that thought when you said vindication. I was like, I'm not gonna go there. We'll see how it goes.
We've joked internally that we might double down, but we'll come up with something incredible. We've got some really good ideas on how the type of show we can bring there, the staging and all of that. So there's lots that, as you can imagine, we're working on, and quite excited to share more of that over the coming months.
Okay. Now, look, before you came and joined us, I was just saying, is this a mixer? I'm trying to learn the official terminology.
It's a lovely party put on by Revolut, hopefully, and a good place to host these. You guys have done some great jobs of these kind of live events now as part of something which hopefully gives you a good backdrop as well for the show.
Well, this is where I wanted to go. I wanted to thank you for having us in this space, and then I wanted to see how well do you know the people at Revolut, because I'm already with Revolut. I just wanted to see if I could upgrade my plan from Metal to Ultra, if you could hook me up with that on the...
I think that was for 3 or 4 mentions on the show of Revolut, who are a great partner.
We're already on
I think we're already at 4.
I was talking about you get travel insurance with them, you get the VPN, Tinder, all of these things.
It's an incredible product. I don't use all of those, but you can use any of those you want.
Look, this isn't even sponsored for. I'm with them. I love it.
I mean, you don't need health insurance. You're a very healthy guy, so everything else, of course.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll have to talk about that after. Yes, we have. Now, look, there's a lot of questions at the moment because you guys obviously announced the events for next year on top of that in terms of the formats that you're going to be running, and I even took some notes, which is very unusual for me.
Chad was kind of blown away by some of the information. It's kind of
and he's never questioned formats before.
No.
So
no, but these are very interesting. Like the bounty one, immediately I'm like, well, this is exciting. I like this. It's kind of thrown everything that I thought about next year out the window, though, in terms of qualifiers for events, because a lot of the tournaments you guys have. So you got bounty, open, and then the third one was rivals. Yes. And the Rivals is 8 teams invited off of the rankings exclusively. That's like GSL, they battle that out. The Open is 12 teams invited off of the rankings and 4 teams from regional qualifiers. And then the Bounty, which is essentially taking the place of the group stages out of the breaks, is 32 teams starting online, 30 of them from the rankings, 2 wildcards, which I'm interested of how that's gonna go down. And then the lowest, I love the matchup mechanic in terms of the lower seed picking the higher seed opponents, and then the prize money system with the bounty attributed to different. It's exciting, it's interesting, it's different. So what's gone into coming up with all of this?
A lot over the last 8-9 months since we knew the world was changing. We've been, as you can imagine, throwing a number of ideas against the wall, trying to work out what we can do. Look, we started with the principle of the biggest fear I had for next year was that you get 20 tournaments that everybody goes, that's a format we all love, but they look the same. They invite the same teams, they've got the same format in the same setting. Therefore, everyone claiming to be the biggest, nobody becomes the biggest. There's nothing exciting in that. That is not good, and I don't think that's what Valve were trying to create. It's not what we heard you and other commentators talk about of what you wanted from the ecosystem. So we set in that with a let's try and be different. You see the world, I see it next year, where you've really got 2 6-month seasons. With the majors now moved to that pre-player break moment. You've got 2 6-month seasons. The player breaks may essentially become a de facto transfer window. And therefore, you've got Katowice and Cologne at the start. You've got a major at the end. Our opens in the middle we want as the big tentpole event, because I don't think you can have, them all squished together of the bigger events. The bounty, I think, is just a really fun bit of entertainment. That is what we're trying to all do here. It's a game we love. We want to bring the most teams the opportunity, the most engagement for the fans. So that was an event we wanted to be really creative with. And as Frederick said on the desk earlier, he comes from a poker background, and as we were chatting, we were like, actually, that's a really fun idea. Like, you can imagine you guys trying to do your predictions for that tournament, and you can't even predict who's going to be playing who.
Yeah.
And I think that creates a set of great storylines for the teams for the whole season. If someone calls someone out of like, I'm going to take you down, I reckon we've got you. Or with the whole ranking structure in place, they go, I'm going to take the Hail Mary, I'm going to take on FaZe or Vitality, because if I pull that off, that I'm getting a hell of a boost from that, so it's worth it. And so that's what we want to create. I think that's a really fun, engaging tournament that is going to get fans talking, that's going to get teams talking, talent talking, players talking, and that is hopefully going to be great fun to watch as well.
Yeah, just to kind of wrap my head around how this works. So the first week is online, and there's for the bounty, right? First week is online, 32 teams, and it's single elimination. So you just like play one team.
Yeah.
If you win, you go to the next round. If not, you're out. And then the seeding works. So the lowest seed picks who they want to play, and then the next lowest seed picks who they want to play, and they do that in a row, or how does it work?
It works. So the first week, you're right, is online, because trying to get 32 teams into somewhere is going to be difficult.
Yeah.
And that's generally at the start of the season. So when you look at other events around, with being close to, say, Katowice and Cologne, like a top Asian team will have already probably been traveling into Europe. So we're not kind of pushing people randomly around the world for the fun of it. And we also try to guarantee regional exposure in each of those tournaments. So then it is the top 30 invited. If for some reason there wasn't an NA team in that, or a South American team or an Asian team, we drop that to 1 to 27, potentially up to, and invite the top 1 from those regions. So you're guaranteeing that global representation. And in that first week, you split the seeds in half. So 1 to 16, 17 to 32. 17 pick first.
Okay, so it's not 32.
Then 18, then 19, and they're picking out from who's left. Because I think that's a nicer, engaging structure. At the end of that first round, there's 16 teams left, and it's you either take the seeding that you started with if you won, if you were first and you won. If you're a lower bracket seed and you've taken someone out, you inherit their seeding.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Because you don't want a team, if they're absolutely coming in hot but have come in at 30, to constantly be in the lowest seed and just sharking people and taking money. They might want that, but I don't think we want to turn that upside down. And then week 2, so the first, Blats played over 5 days at the start of week 1. Monday morning, realistically probably Tuesday, the 8 quarterfinalists will get on a flight to Copenhagen and be in our studio. So there's a LAN finale for that quarterfinal, semi-final, final. So everybody gets a trophy. Like every winner. Like whereas our previous tournaments have obviously fed through into something else. Everything.
But there was no like end to it. There was like a group stage, and then
it's a standalone tournament. Now, by the nature of obviously the ranking structure, you do well at one, you're probably in a good place to be invited to the next one.
Yeah.
But it isn't. There's nothing in our rule book or anything that says you've won that, you're qualified.
Okay.
So it is. You get your trophy. Culmination of that tournament. Oh, we've got another tournament in a couple of weeks that's a different format, that has a different storyline and brings out hopefully a different version of excitement.
Okay. I was going to ask about the 2 wildcard teams, because I think that's the biggest thing that kind of stands out to me, especially knowing Valve's stance, and the reason why they even did this in the first place was to create a merit-based system, right? And so the word wildcard almost feels like it's just going to be an invite based on what you want. Can you elaborate on that, what that means?
Well, I've got to make sure I get EG in there, obviously. So we are... There's the structure in the Valve rules as they're working through allows you, once you've got a tournament of, say, 16 plus, to have a wild card. So you're allowed an element of that, with some stipulations around that, which I'll let them get into. The intention of that, though, is when I look at over the last year, Navi's restructure of last summer and Liquid's, when you weren't taking a call of 3, in Valve's system, that team is no longer ranked. Now, I don't think any of us in a world without the jokes of the people we've had in tournaments would go, they shouldn't be in that tournament. So that's what that structure's for, to be able to kind of almost a protection caveat of things like that. If there isn't any caveat like that, it might well be you invite 31 and 32. It might not be. There might be other storylines that you would pick up through. But those are invites at our discretion. But that's the kind of the intention of what they're for.
Okay, that's cool. That's good. Like for Liquid is a team that definitely could have benefited from something like that at the start of this year, for example. Now you said you let Valve get into it, so maybe the questioning that I had coming up next, you might not be able to shed too much light on. But this is one of the things that we've been speculating about recently. There's obviously no more open qualifiers going into the next major, and then we're speculating maybe no more RMRs next year. That's really here nor there. But for the circuit overall. In some of the questions, is cutoff before your events. Are you able to elaborate, or are you going to wait for Valve?
No, we are, and there's obviously we've shared quite a lot today. There is a draft rule book on the website that has all of that in. I'm disappointed you've had a couple of hours. You could have got.
Now look, I've been traveling for 7 hours today to get here for this, so no.
But so in there we have proposed dates where we'll invite. So I know obviously there's been conversations in other tournaments lately of when an invite cutoff was. We're trying to get that out there clearly, partly for our planning, but also so that teams can plan that. Of right, I want to be in certain events. Obviously, we've announced a couple of locations today. The SAW guys backstage came and were like, when are the invites for Lisbon? I was like, I wondered you might be interested in that. And so we've tried to call that out so that it actually, hopefully, should allow teams to plan. CYPHER can pick up a roster and sort himself out for getting into London next year.
Sure.
You want people, all of the structure we've gone, and that's why we tried to release as much as we can today. Obviously, there's a couple of destinations still to be confirmed, but generally, I think we've shared everything else.
Yeah.
Is to say, look, here's how we see the ecosystem working next year. We're really excited about it. And then here's the information for people to plan around and build to.
Okay. Yeah, no, there's probably a few more, but that's the thing. I need to take a look at this draft rule book.
Just another question, kind of about the invites again, because for the Open tournament, it's 16 teams, 12 invited, and 4 have regional qualifiers. So just based on that, there is no limit. Like when we were speculating, like me and Chad, we thought like if it's 16 teams, 8 have to be invited, 8 through qualifiers. That's not a rule that exists.
So the way you're able to technically play, kind of like when we got week 1 and 2, you could almost say that week 1's a closed qualifier into then a final part of a week 2. You could argue that the first week of Bounty is an online closed qualifier for 32 teams that plays into an 8-team final.
Oh, okay.
So, but the way we see the Open is you've got 1 to 12, and then we're actually inviting another 16 teams. So Europe rising, North America rising, South America rising, and Asia rising. 1 to 4 in each of those regions will be invited to that rising.
Okay, so and that's how the qualifier part.
And then you would have, those would be 8-team tournaments, because as much as everyone would love a robust qualifying process, the calendar's pretty busy next year. I don't think adding events in for the fun of it is the right thing to do or the sustainable thing to do. Okay. So those qualifiers will be 8 teams, 4 from those regional rankings, and then 4 from open qualifiers. So that's the bottom-up route in to that.
I was going to ask about that actually, just because, especially if you look at the bounty, if it's purely invite-based, then there's no open components to the tournaments, and then it kind of becomes cyclical, where like you do well, all the invited teams are always going to be the ones who keep getting invited further and further. So if you don't have the open part of it, then.
But I also you look at your rankings, you look at that over 5 weeks, let alone a year. There's probably only 20 teams that are in your top 32. Right, that are consistently there. Okay. And so I think that variation is there. Like I would expect across our 6 tournaments next year, we've got 45 plus teams playing them, excluding the risings, and if you probably then 60 odd, 70 if you touch down to those. So I don't think there's too much of a risk of that. Once you've gone beyond, we're just playing 8 12-team tournaments. If we were sticking at that, absolutely valid point. But that's why you've tried to go. And there's you've gone 32, 16, 8, so you're funneling throughout the season into really the best of the best.
Yeah, it's more about the open component, as in anybody can put together a team and then qualify to the big events, And so if you don't have the truly open qualifiers, then that kind of disappears from the circuit, so that's kind of where I was a bit worried about these sort of circuits.
Well, hopefully we've got that there in the Open, and that's why we kind of called it the name of that, and it's almost a golf and tennis sort of Open, if there is that route through. I think there's also probably a responsibility as TOs in the ecosystem next year. There's a lot going on. That's exciting. That's great that there's more TOs coming in. That means the game we all love and are invested in, other people are interested in. That's a good thing. So, we want to, we want to see more people coming in and doing well, but we also want to. I don't want to put add-in qualifiers into our events that actually become obstructive. I would fear they'd become obstructive rather than helpful for people.
I mean, I think that was the kind of worry that we had just from looking from the outside in. If every tournament needs to have like so many qualifiers for everything, then where do the tournaments even fit versus the qualifiers? Even now, I feel like for the ESL tournaments, there's too many qualifiers going on like at the same time. Like we're running a qualifier for Dallas and then a qualifier for Chengdu like week after week.
Yeah.
Also, while other main tournaments are happening, it's just like, who is even going to watch it? What's the point of all of these qualifiers and everything? We just need to find the best teams, but not take so much time of the calendar.
Well, there's probably a balance to be struck, right? Because if we know there's no more open qualifiers for majors, so there are going to need to be open qualifiers for some tournaments at some points, so that there is ways for teams to break into the rankings to get invites. Do you have any concerns with, say, your first event out of the break? And it starts online, so it's actually a nice soft entry for teams out of the tournament break into the year. But do you have any worries? Because this is something that we're going to love talking about from week to week is, this team's dodging that event. They're not going to this one. They're skipping. How has that settled in? Have you spoken to teams about this?
We have, and we've spoken to teams outside of our membership structure as well. So we've talked to regular players that aren't, and big teams that occasionally have played our events, and teams that, people always say should be playing our events, but the calendars haven't allowed. Just to explain what we're doing and talking about, I think hopefully the structures that we've put in around team payments and the clarity of that, the intention of that is to allow teams, again, to plan, to people to know, right, I'm going to try and pick this event because this, I think is a great tournament because we like Blast, they put on a great production, they look after us well, but they also go, well, I can see where I'm getting paid from that. I can see what makes sense for this, and we can plan a business around that.
Well, that's some of the struggles, right, with the things that are being changed at the moment. Is like you think, okay, well, we're going to go into this full open circuit and anybody can put in events, but there is, Valve putting out, okay, you can pay teams to come to your tournaments, you just need to publicly put that out there and all that. Do you find what they've done, obviously it's a new challenge, but is it one that you think's very, it's getting in the way of you running your business?
I might have had a different answer 8 months ago. At the moment, it's actually, we're really excited by it. Because it's given us, me and Frederick sort of spitballing in the wider team, and you're like, we can rip up the script here. We can come up with something new, maybe try things that we would have liked to have done, but the structure wasn't there to do before. Equally, kind of open to new teams and build that out. We're really excited about that now, and I think it's a really good thing because you'll see the best teams come through. We get the chance to play with formats. Some of those might not work, and we tweak them. Some of them really might work, and we might double down on them. And that you get to be a bit more flexible in that next year, I think.
Do you get more leverage or less leverage against the teams to try and do unique things, right? Because obviously you guys with the comm stuff and having people there to live translate, that's something you guys have been doing for a while now. That it's smash, and it's beautiful. People love it. It's some of the best content that you put, especially live. So do you feel that you get more leverage over them to maybe try and grab a little bit more of this?
Maybe a question. Well, the last one was 9 months before. I'll ask that one in 9 months again and see how we go. If everyone's not playing our events, then I might distance. I think we'll work closer with more teams rather than less closely with less teams, which I think was almost maybe someone presupposing that when this change was coming through was like, end of partnership teams, well, you won't have your tournament council or the Louvre membership structure, you won't be speaking to them regularly. I think we'll probably be having more regular conversations with more teams and getting feedback and, in form of like, we didn't like that, or we're going to try an idea and we'll get their receptiveness to it. I'd like to think that the way teams will hopefully select events is on, quality of production, quality of opposition, I think will be important. The allocation of production, and knowing that we're credible, we're gonna pay them, we're gonna put that on. They know that's a bit to given, hopefully. And then they'll pick and choose, I'm sure, locations that work for them as a business. But I'd like to, that's, in the other parts that we announced there around the finances, we want that to be clear incentives for teams to prioritise our events. I'm comfortable admitting that.
Yeah.
I want everyone else's events to be successful, but I want the teams to be prioritising ours.
Okay. I just wanted to ask about the second kind of format where it's also kind of new and something that I've heard of other tournament organizers considering, but it hasn't necessarily happened so much, where you have the group stage take place in one location and then the playoffs move on to the next. I think Boston is the major in Boston. That was kind of like the only one that comes to mind where that actually happened in some way.
Yeah, but there was definitely talk from ESL, I think 2020, just before the pandemic, to do exactly this, where the group stage would be in one location, probably in Katowice or maybe somewhere else in Europe, and then
go somewhere central for them, so it's easy for them to organize.
So they have a
basically.
studio and everyone's there, so that kind of lowers the cost, I would presume, and then fly out for playoffs.
Yeah,
right?
I'm just curious about what's the reasoning
I think
behind that.
There's an element of maybe cost management, but it's actually about quality of our. When you see our spring and fall groups, they look slicker as a match play than the Wednesday and Thursday of a spring final.
Cool.
Thursdays are always first day when you're somewhere is always
but it's
tricky.
you're just in a concourse or a venue, and I hate that for the teams as well. Like we have to play it, that's the format, and that makes sense as the format. But it's not the great experience for the teams. I feel sorry then for Saw and G2. Poor Munzies got here to turn around again. They don't get that experience in front of a crowd. So the idea of that is that we can build a really good studio production in Copenhagen, give that as a better experience for teams, give that as a better experience for the fans and everyone out there. And then there's also then I feel a bit more of an excitement of I've made it to the venue. Almost like novelty big check. I've got my airline ticket. I'm on the plane to Lisbon. I'm on the plane to London. And then you feel you've got to somewhere exciting. It also makes that easier for next year that we're going to Lisbon and London from Copenhagen rather than, I'm putting something on in Auckland. Those are things we'd have to have a look at. But that was a deliberate design of the locations for next year of, in a congested calendar, let's go to great places we know are successful, that will build us a really good audience, and we can operate well.
I have another question that's kind of adjacent to this. It was something that Striker and I were just discussing in the Uber on the way over. So I look at all these events that get thrown on, and everybody's trying to do big arenas, and hey, that is what it is, right? But I look at it and I go, is there a reason? And then the ticket prices of these things are normally not anything outrageous, right? I know in current times,
it's not a Taylor Swift concert.
No, not at all. But I'm curious, is there a reason that we don't? And when I say we, I guess I'm talking broader, right? Obviously, you can talk from the Blast perspective, but there's a reason we don't try and do like 2,000 to 4,000 venues with a different viewing experience. We're always going for something a bit bigger.
It's almost like you've been in some of our meetings. So the idea with the rivals is, as I said, I don't really like the Wednesday, Thursday matches at a spring and fall final, is to try and see if we can work those out and maybe go to places where I can do 4 days of an audience, 5 days of an audience maybe, and get 2,000, 1,500, maybe try and find really interesting architectural venues that you could maybe have a slightly rawer staging and production because I'm in a cool venue.
Yeah.
That's we may not find those venues. We're working lots of that, but that's the concept of do you try and do something a bit different so that you can be in a location that perhaps has got that level of ticket interest rather than a 10,000 arena. If I'm in a venue in a city or a location that is selling me 7,000, 8,000 tickets, we'll probably be in an arena.
Sure.
But we're looking at options to try and make that. Again, we want to. The system doesn't benefit next year if there's 15 events that look and feel the same. So we're really trying to create points of difference. Some of that might be the rivals is just a different format in an arena, if that makes sense. But the idea is to try and look at something different.
No one's gonna look. If you can stick the landing on this, I don't know. I don't know what I'll do. I want someone to build a Coliseum type, obviously not the scale, but the sheer looking down, right? And a bit more raw. I like what you're doing there. Bit more intimate. On the floor below the teams, a big screen that's the radar. So we're looking down at the players on the pitch, and then the screens we look up. If you pull that off,
With the players moving around on movable chairs across the
No,
map.
no, come on now, come on. Let's not. Look, I know we're being crazy, but if you can pull that off, it obviously costs a shitload of money. But
We'll go Field of Dreams. You build it, we'll come.
there you go. Look, I'll buy a ticket.
Yeah.
Right? You know, I'll be there. I'll be there watching. All right. Well, yeah. Look, I feel that we could touch on a lot of things here this evening. Is there anything that we haven't touched on that's exciting that the people at home should know about?
We've covered a lot on the new format, so it's 3 completely new formats. We're really excited about that. You get a winner. I think those standalone events is a big thing we've been sort of criticised for before, so I think having 6 champions...
These are my favourite Blast events. I know they haven't happened yet, but what you guys have done are probably my favourite Blast events ever.
Excellent.
I'm very excited.
Including Austin as well.
Well, yes. Yeah. Hey, look.
Austin's going to be great.
Yeah, that should be great. No, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted
No. That's
I've had 1.5 beers. So.
That's what we're hoping. After a 7-hour drive. That's what we're hoping, is that it's exciting. That's what we want. We love this game. We all do. So we're here to try and make it exciting. And I think by having that variety, hopefully we've created that. We want to build that out. I think we'll build something very different with the major. We're going to great places. You know, anyone who's ever been to our Lisbon show knows that's an incredible experience.
Great atmosphere.
London's a great city to build in, and we'll see that hopefully grow over the years as well. So, yeah, we're going to come to more fun places. There's more teams playing matches in front of audience, more teams playing LAN in a kind of a proper studio setting, and that I think is only a good thing.
Right?
Seems great.
Yeah, this is great.
Exciting.
Oh, what do you want to keep the show rolling, Prof? What do you want to do?
Yeah, I think it's time.
I'm not trying to kick you out.
Yeah.
It's just, only place in the venue you can find a seat. No, there's a couple of seats around here, but we do have more guests and we have more to get through this evening. But
I'll leave you to it.
No, I want to say thank you very much and congratulations with the major and next year
Thank
and everything. I'm looking forward to it. Should all be awesome.
See you around.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, guys. We look forward to chatting more and seeing you at all our
And
events.
thank you for having us.
Yeah.
No worries. You're always welcome. Thank
See
you, Revolut.
See you at the next thing and at the World Show in January.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
All right,
Thank you.
Wow. That was great. I really enjoyed that.
That was interesting. Yeah.
That was a good conversation.
Yeah.
Andrew's a great talker.
Great guy.
Too
Update bar.
great of a talker.
Yeah.
Oh, next guest.
Hello.
Bring him up here. All right. So the next gentleman down. I got to keep this moving. Let me find the fucking... I can swear now.
Thank you.
Hello?
He should be on.
How are you?
All right,
good?
Here we go.
I'm good.
Hello, CYPHER.
Hello?
How are you doing?
I'm good. I've had a few... Nah, I'm
Are
joking.
they Doc Martens?
They are.
Damn.
I
His
could
mic
add
needs to go a bit up.
inch to my height, you know.
Bleed must be playing well. Huh? It's going well.
His mic lit up.
So did you get them like professionally
I wish.
run over by a car or something?
I mean, no, but that's what happens when you don't wax them. I
yeah,
suppose.
okay. But
That's
I heard you
His
need to,
mic
like,
needs to go a
really-
bit up.
Microphone a bit up.
Oh.
Okay.
We're in a very loud venue.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah.
It's quite different from the Paris one.
It is,
Yeah.
but I like it. We're fly on the wall.
Yeah.
No one knows we're here.
Yeah, just
We're-
chilling.
We're just going. We're just
Yeah.
talking. We can't really see anything. People
Okay.
at home can't tell. We're just looking at a curtain and some bright lights. But it's an experience, this one. We get to look at each other more. But thank you for joining us this evening. Obviously,
pleasure.
one of the few British representatives we have in upper echelon Counter-Strike. Now, look, where should we start?
I have a question which is just going to come up eventually. How's Kassad as a coach?
Question number one.
I was expecting this one, but not straight off the bat.
Well, might as well get into it.
I mean, he's very good like tactically, you know, and like he's definitely a person that
He's a person.
no, but he's a person you get to like know and love, you know. Like he's just very strict in certain things, but not strict at all. It's hard to explain, but he's a good coach.
He's a straightforward guy.
Yeah,
I'm sure, yeah.
I mean, that's an understatement.
I mean, I feel like he's a guy, like, whenever I met him, he's definitely not fake.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
you know
no.
what you're getting from him. He's not going to be like your fake friend. If you're not friendly, you're not friendly, but he's not going to also shit on you for no reason. He's always
Yeah.
going to be like professional, always like nice. Oh, do you want this? Yes, no, don't have time. It's always like pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
there's
no
a lot
time
of
waste.
there's a lot of people in this in CS that are going to be like, oh yeah, you're great, blah blah, and then you're like, hey mate, can you do this? It's like, just like ignores you for forever, you know. He's always been like a straight shooter, and that's something I really appreciate.
Yeah, no, it's no time wasting anything. He's a really nice guy and a good coach, but like, it's just straight to the point all the time. He's very good.
So what's the punishment if you miss a smoke?
Oh, a quick KO. Quick KO.
Oh, shit. Well, you've been part of Bleed for already a decent chunk of time, right? Does it feel like it's flying by? You're playing so many bloody online tournaments.
Yeah, I mean, there was a part where I got like benched for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I got back, and then the time's just flown since. It's really good.
The new roster, obviously, Malcolm Jacob joining the ranks. Is it nice having another guy that will go as aggressive as fuck?
Yeah, no, it's really
Jacob
nice. Yeah, it's really nice. I mean, so far, like, it's a bit of a problem, like, because we have like 3 aggressive players now, you know, instead of just 2. So we've had to get used to that. But other than that, it's really good.
Hampus is the other guy.
Yeah, Hampus is the other one. So like Favin's taking a step back and, you know, supporting more and all this. But other than that, like, it's really nice to just have someone all of a sudden just speed in front of me. I'm like, hold on, I've never had this before.
That's what I'm supposed to do. Yeah.
It's a bit different, but it's good. I respect it.
So who has the better roles?
I think we've done a good job on mix and matching.
Yeah.
Like he's got some of mine, and I've got quite a few of his as well. And we also share some, so it's good. It's good.
So you have the better roles, but you convince him that he has the better roles.
Exactly, manipulating, gaslighting.
You always have to gaslight.
Exactly.
A bit. That's a secret of a good team. I'm pretty sure.
Now, how was Mongolia? Did you stick out like a sore thumb over there, man?
I mean, it was good. It was an interesting one. Let's just say the hotel had, like, for the prac room, the first 5 days, no Wi-Fi.
Oh
shit.
But other than that, it was really good.
Yeah?
It was a good event. They ran really well and stuff like this.
No Wi-Fi? Do you play on Wi-Fi?
We didn't play.
Okay.
We played like aimbots, and then when the Wi-Fi did work, we played retakes, and then all of a sudden it was like 400 ping, so we couldn't. And then other than that, it was really good.
Well, that's the thing, right? That event was running at the same time as Dallas, so maybe everybody didn't get it. Well, especially we didn't, those who are in the States, because I think when your matches started, it was very late in the evening for us, so we would have all been. I think that was right, Striker, wasn't it? You were in the States with us.
Oh, yeah.
Their games were something like at 11 p.m. local or something
late,
like that.
Super late for us.
And you guys came runners up to the Mongols.
Yeah.
But in terms of the development of your team with the newer additions, like. Does Kassad set like a bar of where you want to be, or is it just grinding inside of the next major? What's the scope?
I think the goal is Shanghai. Like that's always just going to be the goal, you know? I mean, right now we're just playing as much like CCTs as we can or like any other tournaments to get the prize money up and then Valve rankings up and all of this, right? Because of the new circuit. But other than that, I think the goal is just Shanghai. Like that's what we're aiming for.
Okay. And what about CS2? How are you finding it?
Ooh. I mean, it's an interesting one. I mean, it's I
feel like you're a player that should thrive in CS2.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a little bit different in a way of like everyone is now just swinging. So instead of you swinging into people, now you're also swinging into their swing. You know? So it's a bit of it's completely different in terms of how people play, like I'd say. But I enjoy it.
Okay.
So there's a lot of talk when you're talking about swinging, like about mechanics, and some of these players like Donk, for example, like he's constantly moving. He's very hard to hit. Like, which players do you think have mastered this in CS2 the best?
I think people like Elige, Donk, and like Monesi. If you see the way he orbs, it's so shotgun from how he used to do. I mean, he used to be shotgun, but it's not as much as he was now. Like, it's so fast. I think CS2, if you watch, I don't know, any pro demo, even when they're holding a certain position, they're not standing still. Because if you stand still, you're dead, essentially, you know? You always have to move, or like, if it's a right eye peak, I'd say you mostly have to take that most of the time. Like, right eye peaks in this game is so broken. It's crazy.
Okay, so I think there's a lot of mechanics in this game, and whether intentional or not, obviously the smoke break is one that is intentional, but you have this with the Pika's advantage, I guess we could still label it that way. The game, in theory, should play more aggressively, quicker, right? And we don't always see that. With some teams, it still can play quite slowly. But do you think that's a good, as someone who's an aggressive player, do you think that's a good thing, or do you think that kind of takes away what made you unique?
I mean, it's hard to say. I think the one thing that has taken away a lot, as you can see on certain maps like Vertigo, like the one-way smokes. The smokes, I think, have changed the things a lot because it just blocks off so many more like avenues in a sense, you know? The fact you can also change like break smokes as well is completely like different. So, I mean, it has definitely helped, I would say, as a player, the Pika's advantage and breaking the smokes and all this, but it's also hurt a lot. Like, it took a lot to get used to. I think at the start of CS2, I was having a rough time. All of a sudden, I'd be doing the stuff I was doing in CSGO, and then smoke would just disappear in front of me. I'm like, oh, hold on, I forgot about that.
Okay. How often does it happen to you? You guys play shitloads of matches, so I'm curious about how often does it happen to you that you see something that you haven't seen yet in CS2?
I mean, it's quite a lot, to be honest. I would say not as much now, but the first like 5 months, you'd always be seeing something new. You know, like a different smoke or even one-way smoke spin on CS2, you know, or stuff like this. I would say nowadays the teams, especially in tier 2, tier 3, they're so grinding, like grindy. So they always find something that you always have to just appear, you know, it just appears.
Do you guys have somebody who can keep an eye on that stuff? You know, not just you guys like in the match, but you have analysts and stuff like that.
Yeah, we got an analyst who does a good job of finding new nades and all of this for us. But Kassad is actually watching a lot of demos, and he helps a lot with the new stuff we're finding and everything like this.
Okay.
What about the new update, right? With the economy at the start of games, well, obviously after the bomb gets defused, right? And then the cheaper M4. How's all that settling in?
To be honest with you, I haven't got a clue.
Oh, yeah?
I have no idea about the update.
Okay.
I know Hampus and Kassad said something about it, but in my head, I just saw money.
Fair enough.
But yeah.
More money.
A lot less second round Galils.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's having trouble before. Isn't there something like to do? Before you could buy, if you get 1 kill on bomb plant, you could buy AK. But now, if you get bomb plant and not a kill, you still can't buy AK.
You only get 2,500.
Yeah.
Well, probably 26.
Yeah, so you can't even drop a hero AK. You need to get 2 and a bomb plant to get it.
So, yeah. But, okay, all right. Well, okay, what about this angle then? What about the Vertigo angle? How do you feel about that change?
That map is ruined.
Okay.
It's ruined.
Really?
I've
Just ruined?
I've actually barely seen it.
It hasn't been played at Tier 1 a lot.
Complexity mouse, and that's it.
That's the only time it's been played Tier 1.
Yeah, and I haven't been watching like the Tier 2, Tier 3 games.
I think Nip played it in Yala.
A
few times. I think they played it twice. But other than that, yeah, I mean, nothing has changed on ramp, which is good. It's still kind of exactly the same. But the teams are doing it a lot different now because of how fast you can get to gap now, because you don't have to go all the way around. So it's a lot. It's interesting, but they've ruined it, kind of, for me.
Why have they ruined it for you?
Because the way I think this, for me, Vertigo was so like simple. Like the way I liked it was such a simple map. But now it's like the way you have to execute a site is so hard in the sense of there's always mostly going to be something open, you know? So like you have to use 2 smokes, new con, and then old con, or you can do left and right, you know? And then you have to use, I'd say, 2 mollies or something like this to get it. Before it would be 2 smokes, 1 molly. You'd have to use it, you know? Or it'd be another 2 mollies if you want a molly gap. So essentially, it's to execute a site, you need to order. It's a lot more utility to exit.
Yeah, I mean, I remember you just running up ramp and destroying people, so now you have a lot more to take care of.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly.
I mean, now it still works, but not as well.
Headshots always work, regardless of the meta. Apparently, headshots work.
I saw you were in the arena today.
Yeah.
Were you getting noticed? Were you able to stay incognito?
Not as much because I haven't got my mullet.
Ah,
that's true.
Yeah.
Well, they're going out of fashion now, aren't they?
Maybe, but I thought, long hair, as you can tell from my HLTV photo, the hair was crazy long, so I needed to cut it, but
Bit of a change.
Exactly.
I want to ask you a question. So you're sitting back, right, you're grinding as Bleed, and you're looking at, the upper echelons of Counter-Strike, and right now, Counter-Strike's a bit all over the place.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, oh, this team won this event, this team's looking pretty good. Is there a best team in the world right now, and if so, who is it?
I would say it's so hard to say that. I would say... I mean, as you could tell from G2 winning and Dallas with a standing,
okay, from a player perspective, and without shitting on them, all right, just to kind of, what do you think of that situation?
I don't know if it sounds toxic, but it shows they can do it without HooXi.
Well, HooXi's got to be gone now anyway, and Nexa.
Yes, I think if it shows if you can do it without HooXi, that's bad, in my opinion, I mean, it kind of just shows that, if you're not winning about your IGL and Nico's IGLing and you're winning a tournament, it kind of just shows that, you don't really need him. And if you don't need him, you might as well get more star power somewhere else.
Look at the Kassad influence right there.
I tried to defend HooXi to him multiple times. It was like, I'm not having any of that.
I don't know if you can do that anymore. Yeah, I think it could be all over football, HooXi, couldn't it? So you don't think...
This is just a pay raise. This is a bonus.
Exactly.
In the clause right now.
So you don't think you could pick a team if you're or
I would say you would have to pick 3 teams, right?
Okay.
I would say you would have to pick FaZe, Spirit, and maybe even Vitality now. I would say
Mouse.
Mouse as well. I would say you'd have to pick 4.
Yeah.
Mouse. Now I think about it, I'd say FaZe, G2. I mean, FaZe, Spirit, Vitality, Mouse.
FaZe have had some struggles recently, though. The back-to-back events, it's been a little bit, it hasn't looked super strong. Some of the dynamics with the players not looking great. I wonder if they're just tired, but I don't know if we can keep using that excuse, especially now that we go into, because the season's over in 2 days' time. It's fucking over. Next season, the last event of the season is the most important event. We can't have any of this bullshit about we're tired. You need a peak for that. And if anyone's going to be tired, it's a team like you guys who are going to be grinding the whole way up until that, trying to make your name for it. So what do you think about majors being at the end of the season? Do you like it? Do you loathe it? Do you not care?
I think, I mean, I wouldn't know because I haven't been tier 1 essentially like they've been. But for me, I would say it's quite nice because, you know, you go out with a blast, you know? But I would say burnout is, I would say, essentially insane with how much they're traveling, jet lag, you know, catches up to them. So I couldn't say how it is, but for me, majors at the end of the season would be pretty cool. It's pretty cool, you know?
Have you guys discussed it all? I suppose you haven't because you're still focusing on the now. But, you know, next year when events are going to be based off of the rankings, have you guys let's say that you're a top 16 team, which would mean that you're invited to almost every event, right?
Yeah.
Have you guys discussed on, like, we would skip certain events, or you'd base it off of location, or have you had any of those?
We haven't really had that. I mean, we're in the stage of, like, we'll take any invite we can get.
You have to get there
We
first.
have to get every invite. Like, I think what we've said as a team right now is, like, right now we're taking every invite that has a good prize money, just so we get higher up. And then when we're higher up, then we can pick and choose. But as long we're getting to the point where we need to be higher up to do it.
But that's the thing. That's going to be the case for most.
Yeah.
Obviously, the majority of Counter-Strike teams will find themselves in your position. And then once, I guess, you're cracked into the, I guess you could say top 20.
Yeah, ish. Yeah.
Yeah, top 20-ish. And then you get to be a bit more selective in about how things go. So what are you guys playing in at the moment?
I mean, we're playing some qualifier for India and Indian land. And then we're playing
Didn't
for...
you guys win that against Monty?
Yeah, we played it today. We won one. And then we got another one for the grand finals to qualify.
Oh.
Yeah, I think so.
I thought you already qualified.
That's news to me.
No, I might be wrong. I'm going to check. You keep talking. Let me have a look here.
I mean, if it is, we're celebrating now.
Right. It's Sky Esports, right?
Yeah,
That's
Sky
the one,
Esports. Yeah, India. And then we're just playing in CCT.
Yeah, I've seen. You guys lost to Nemiga from...
We don't talk about that.
both lineups lost to Nemiga, same way.
We were expecting, without Flamus, we were expecting, might be a little bit easier.
Nope.
No.
Didn't happen. And with Nock and Jacob as well. Nothing changed.
It's rough. Very rough.
Unfortunate. Yeah.
That was the semi-final that you won.
Right.
And no, you're right. I gotta step ahead of myself. So you're in the grand final. You need to beat 3D Max for the spot at the Sky Esports Championship 2024.
That is tomorrow. Yeah.
You shouldn't be here right now, young man.
But I got permission from Kassad, so we're fine.
Oh, you're fine.
You're playing at 11 a.m.
Yep.
And
After
you're here
this,
now.
After this, I'm going straight back. This is only Coke.
Hell. Okay.
Yep.
Do we discuss Cypher's greatest incident?
What are we talking about?
When he didn't check in.
No comment.
I forgot about this completely. I forgot about this completely.
I'm not gonna lie, I have no comment for that.
I've heard there was some damage in the practice room.
Let's just say Kassad wasn't happy. That's all you can say.
Well, you've redeemed yourself since then, obviously.
Yeah, I would hope so. I mean, I still don't know the end of it. But, yeah, it was a rough time.
Oh, shit. All right, maybe I shouldn't have brought that up.
When that happened, didn't you just say, like, well, we could have just qualified earlier anyway. Yeah. You know?
I think if I said anything at that moment, I would be gone.
Not from the team, just from this world.
Universe.
Oh, shit. All right, well, should we do the What Are the Odds?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so on this show, we've brought a new set. Sorry, Lucas?
Hold on.
We can try. We're going to try. But we have a segment on the show called What Are the Odds? And just for the people at home, it's brought to you by 1xBet. And essentially this segment, we have a question every week, every episode. And then we, as a unit, we all going to give a percentage of whether we think this question will or won't happen. Okay. Then we get the aggregate. I think that's another word for average. And then the people at home get to pick yes or no based off that. And if they're right, There's a big bounty at the end of the year, just like Blast. And then we're going to put on a party or some shit. I don't know what we're going to do with the money yet, but we'll do something with it. So the question this week, I wrote it down. Let me have a look here.
I think we can watch the clips first. We can actually we can't see them over here.
Lucas, are we ready with the clips? All right, we need 10 seconds, but we're going to play some clips that are
from Falcons.
Yes, and you may have watched these clips today.
Okay.
We're going to play these clips for everybody at home, and we can talk while that's happening. But yeah, Lucas, we can't talk while that's happening. Anyway, play the clips.
Clocked that one early. It's a good decision, though. Orb can be difficult against the fast-moving pistols, and Lackey, well, he's rotated down and towards the slower bomb site to pad up the defense alongside Deco. Wow. Snappy looking for the plants in the smoke, and Lackey's not going to be able to deny. So that's at least in itself a success now for Falcons. And, well, they've got upgraded pistols. They've got an AK. They don't have great post-plant positions, but there is a way to make this work. Lackey's just going to stick the defuse in the smoke, and Falcons haven't been able to do anything about it. All 10 players still alive on the server. Look at Aurora players more so than Falcons. There's a little bit of util here as well. That underarm nade. Oh, Dupree, not like this.
All right, so the people at home would have seen some clips today of Falcons in what we would all call a bit of a clown fiesta.
We got an amazing play-by-play from Lucas.
We did.
We call it ESL Challenger.
ESL Challenger, yes.
That's
similar name. But this was during Jönköping, which is happening at the same time, and we also have that Fire League event that's going on in Argentina as well as the Blast Spring Finals run. So there's a lot of Counter-Strike all across the globe at the moment. But the question for What Are the Odds, brought to you by 1xBet, is will Falcons make the major? So we have to decide. Now, these clips obviously meant to be funny. Haha, look at these guys. They're doing so poorly. The Lackey one is inexcusable. I don't know how that happens. Unless comms were mental in that moment. But it was a 5v5, so I'm not sure. And maybe they thought someone else was peeking, but whatever. Anyway, that one was stupid. Dupree dying to his own HE. I'm letting him off the hook for that.
It's a bit funny. He was
also
tagged
as it happened.
He was also very good in that game. Like he was like 30 bomb. Yeah.
I think he's always good for Falcons recently, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy how we were like, why did they sign this guy? And then he's carrying, but they're still bad.
Yes.
I don't get it. I don't understand.
So the question being, will Falcons make the major? So I would assume, based off of their rankings, that they would make the closed qualifier at a minimum.
Yeah, right? Possibly even straight to the RMR.
So this is the thing. With the RMR, we were discussing this a little bit earlier. 16 teams from the rankings with the early cutoff, which we haven't even fucking discussed yet. Oh, my God. Yeah. 16 teams with the early cutoff will go straight to the RMR. And that means that 32 teams will be invited to the closed qualifier. So 16 plus 32 equals 48, just for those people playing the mathematics at home. So 48 teams, best European teams, be invited either to the online portion of the closed qualifier or directly to the LAN portion of the RMR, which will be in Shanghai. And so that means you guys should make that.
Yeah.
You guys should make that.
I think it's kind of confirmed we got close call invite already. So.
Okay. Well, that's good. So if the Falcons get the top 16, then they'll get a chance at the RMR. If they don't, they'll have to play through the online portion. But regardless, they have to go through multiple stages at some point to qualify for the major. Do we think that this team will qualify? How many teams go through the European RMRs?
16. Oh, you mean
the European RMRs? Is it 18 or is it down to 17?
No, it's down. It's less
16
than that.
now.
It's 16.
Is it 16 flat?
It's back to 16.
Okay, so 16. Do we think that Falcons are one of the 16 best teams in Europe that will qualify for the major?
Yeah. So 100% is 100% yes. 0% they're not going to qualify. Where do you start first?
We're going to put it on him first.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Don't throw it on the guest first. We got to go timid, and then we can bring him in. One of us has to go first.
Yeah,
I'll go first.
You go first.
Okay. Do I think Falcons? I could do what I did with HooXi. 50% they up, 50% they won. Now, 16 teams out of 16 teams, would they not qualify? 16.
The thing is, they can make a roster change still.
Yes.
Will they? I don't think so.
I would probably say not, just because of the ranking, because they might just actually skip the close qualifier if they don't. So
but one change doesn't change anything, right?
Well, I don't know how it works with Valve specifically, but
I think I saw something.
People in chat are saying 14 teams.
I was gonna say, I was just gonna check that because I think it went down, and I was just trying to figure out home.
Yeah, because we got two Asian teams and we got
3 Asian teams even now.
3 Asian teams, yeah.
And
so
we
one
got
extra.
6 American teams. I think that's why that doesn't count.
So that
would be 15.
Someone said it's 15. People said 14,
15.
now 15.
I thought 15. That's what I was thinking.
Let's go with 15. I'm going to go with 56. 57%.
Okay.
They qualify.
They qualify.
Okay.
57%.
Okay. I'm going lower. I don't think they're. I think they're like 40%.
The thing is, we don't know what the matchups are going to be.
Obviously, yeah.
Obviously. But they're a cusp team. They're not a team that are a shoe-in, right? But they're not a team that when it comes down to the final round of matchups, if they're equally pegged by experience, I would say that they're winning.
It's just that they haven't had any success.
Yeah, but they're not
At
losing
all.
to fresh. They're not losing to fresh faces.
They
But
just
it's
lost
not
to
going to
Aurora
be fresh
today.
faces that they're going to have to beat to get there, though.
They did lose to Aurora today, but they also got defused 5v5.
I would say just because of their recent form at the moment, assuming they don't make changes, and I think that's probably only going to hurt, possibly only going to hurt them at this point. I would also go with like 35%. I would say maybe 40%, and that's just because I don't think they're actually going to make it to the straight to the RMR, and I think they're going to fail in the online.
Oh.
I think they're already not even going to get, if they don't get straight invited.
35?
I think they don't. Yeah.
35.
35%.
35. So I've gone a bit high because I've already given them shoe into the RMR when I shouldn't have given them shoe into the RMR.
That's going to be close, I guess.
You don't think they'll make it out of 16, I guess, online? Oh, shit. Maybe you're right. Okay, Cypher.
I think 30. I think 30 as well.
I've been generous here today.
I think 30 to 35. I would say 35.
35. 35, 35, 57.
I think they don't have like the star power to go through the online tournament.
The final round bleed versus Falcons.
Oh, imagine. And now they just own us to qualify.
And how much would you give Bleed to qualify?
100%. There it is. That's like the TikToks, you know. How are you going to do on this exam? 100%.
No, I would say truthfully, I would like to say right now, if we continue how we're playing right now, 50. But I reckon if we got better, like after play break, our boot camp and everything, I'd say 65, 60.
How far are you guys in your evolution, really? I mean, it's not been that long since Jake came and Nog came in.
Not even like a
playing
month.
lot of. I was gonna say like, and you went straight into the LAN, barely any practice before that,
Like
and
4
so
days, I think.
yeah, you haven't had a lot to play. So yeah, where are you guys at the moment?
I mean, I think we're doing good. It could be better, but like I said, it's so hard to transition one aggro rifler a bit more passive because he's got 2 more, you know? It's like putting the resources everywhere instead of putting it into like just one person. It's been a bit like sticky, but I think we are doing good, but like I said, it could be a lot better.
But I kind of look at Hampus, or at least I used to. This is the thing, I haven't been keeping up with a lot of your matches recently, but I look at Hampus as the space taker who would take space but then potentially lurk that position.
And also take space and space take at the same time.
Yes. Whereas I would look at you and Jacob as like, if I wanted to go and rob that fucking bank, I would throw you two through the window.
Just the
right?
muscle heads.
Yeah, right? Like that,
Yeah.
that. You guys, you're like players.
Yeah.
You're going to go no matter what. You're going to make that space. And not that I don't think Hampus is, but I think like when I was, maybe because he was on NIP and he felt he had to do a bit more. But when he would take mid space on Ancient, you know, to get close red, then he'd lurk red, and then the rest of the team would kind of group up. I feel like, you know, there can be differences in terms of the aggression. I know that you guys all like to make plays, but for you and Jacob, I think you guys are quite similar. And that's great to have, because if you're doing things that are spawn-based or whatever, or if there's a pick that you like that he doesn't like, that's awesome. Like, you guys get to go for those moves. And I think another cool thing about that is you got a bash bro. You know, like if you're going, he'll trade you or vice versa, right?
No questions asked.
Yeah.
Nah, it is good. I mean, it's definitely something you need, but it's like you said, it's like say Anubis on mid. Like Hampus is mid, he's taking that space, right?
Sure.
And then I'm cave, I'm taking that space. So there's 2 extremities you kind of have to look after.
Yeah,
and
fucking A main's a good spot to battle, though, don't you think?
I would say but you kind of have to use more utility and all of this. I would say like B, like is his position right now, and it's like kind of approach, but you kind of just have to hold and wait for the aggression.
Yeah.
You know. So it's like stuff like that is on a default where it's like he's having trouble. Like I said, on the older Anubis, he'd be taking that space mid, but right now he's just gonna have to. Hands off keyboard, hold mouse.
So you kind of got the opposite problem of some of these more passive teams where their lurky boys are bitches. You probably have the problem where he's like, oh, there's a gap, let's go, and there's not really a gap, and he's kind of played ahead.
Exactly. Like we play off initiative, me and Yod, kind of.
Yeah.
You know? And then when you have like 3 guys kind of playing off initiative, it doesn't really work in a sense. Like you can't play 3 positions same time.
Okay, so you guys just need to kind of learn when it's your time a little bit more. So it's kind of becoming a bit more well-rounded overall, which is a good thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's just like it's a well-oiled machine we have to do it in, you know, and like it will get time, but yeah, we'll get it.
To be honest, I would prefer more players who are willing to go than
100%.
betas.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, anyway, back on topic. 30, 35?
35.
35, 35, 57.
40. You said 40, I think, right?
40.
What, Lucas? No, I don't want to change it. Keep it. What'd you say?
40.
40. All right. And do we see what the people at home want, Lucas? Nah, fuck the people at home. All right. So the average will probably be around 50%, I'd imagine. 42%. Okay. All right.
I love. Lucas is literally yelling into the microphone.
Now we're going to put this on the Instagram and the X's/Twitter spheres, and the people at home will get to have a vote what they think. And if they end up being correct, then that amount of money will go into the kitty, which is a term we describe. Do you know what a kitty is?
Nope, no idea.
Oh, okay.
It's a small
It is
cat.
really Australian.
I know that one.
It's a pool of money.
Okay.
And then for the end of the year, we'll see where that goes. But that is What Are the Odds, brought to you by OneXpert. How'd I do, Prof?
Amazing.
All right. Shout out to Revolut. Not a sponsor of the show, but I would like.
The sales team
Ultra.
is gonna ruin me after this.
Why? Because I'm shouting out.
More shout-outs for Revolut than people that actually pay for us.
Shout out
Don't
to
say anything.
Peroni.
Don't say anything.
Yeah, shout out to Birdie one time.
Yeah.
That's not
Maria.
bad. All right. Well, what are we doing now, Prof?
Well, it's Smooya here.
Smooya's here. I saw him
Yeah.
somewhere.
Where is he?
That's a very good question.
We're running ads, he says. We
All right.
run ads and then
All
we
right.
have
Well,
Smooya.
hold up. Before we run
Yeah.
ads, CYPHER, is there anything you'd like to say to the people at home?
Shout out Revolut.
Nice.
And then other than that, yeah, just.
You
thank
guys
for
have any
watching.
sponsors that bleed?
Thank you for reminding me. Shout out Razor.
That's enough. That's
That's
enough.
enough.
That's enough.
And
Thank you.
loads of others, and thank them all.
Isn't the owner of Bleed like some rich Singaporean dude?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah,
Mervyn
some
is it?
giga loaded. Like, I don't know, and it like runs the recycling company in Singapore or something.
my
Some
God.
like
Okay.
giga loaded dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you
There's
for
a
coming
lot of
on.
money
Thank
in
you,
trash.
thank you.
Will you be in the venue over the weekend? Oh, no,
Yeah,
you got to play
I should
games
be.
tomorrow.
Yeah, but we'll win them fast and I'll come to the arena and
Okay.
watch.
Well, good luck against 3D Max
Thank you.
tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. And let's run ads. We'll be right back, everybody.
Thank you.
The world is changing quickly. Shut up.
The world is changing, but one thing remains the same. Victories with OneXBet.
Are you tired of your boring old skins? Head to Trade It and trade them for exciting new ones within seconds. With 24/7 support, massive inventory, free giveaways, and low fees. Trade It is the highest rated trading platform in the market. What are you waiting for? Start trading today for a $5 bonus, only on Trade It.
Since the dawn of CSGO, we have been there. Observers of all that competition can reveal. Elation, fear, triumph, and heartache reach out from every frame. From the small studios and conference rooms to the epic arenas, the feeling is still the same. We live and breathe this game. This was CSGO Through the Lens. Buy now at hltv.org/shop.
Look at us, Smooya. You don't need to look anywhere else.
I will never look anywhere else.
We don't need to look anywhere else. Now, look, tonight we're going to be discussing a couple of things. Obviously, you're cutting right now. So how is it being?
You mean, oh Jesus, like gym? You mean?
Yeah. How are you restricting the diet? You know, how many calories a day?
Today it's gone away. I mean, today I'm bulking. Today
You're bulking.
I woke up. Actually, I was drinking a little bit last night till like 4 a.m. Woke up,
A little
KFC,
bit.
mandatory.
A little bit.
Actually, not much, but kind of late. Have had KFC, McDonald's for the first time in like a month and a half, all today. And I'm about to have about 20 drinks.
So it's a cheat day today.
It's a cheat. This is going to count for London is a cheat weekend.
Cheat 48
But I've been
hours.
very good for like 6 weeks, I've lost 12.5 kilos, something like this.
So since
6 weeks?
Since
6 weeks.
Pro League?
How many kilos?
12.5. I was 120.1 or 121 like this, and I'm like 108 roughly right now.
Okay. So how
It's
are
going
you?
well.
How are you restricting your calories? What type of diet? What have you taken out of your
yeah,
diet?
a lot of people.
Atkinson.
First of all, for people listening, I need to stand up next to someone because these fucking Photoshop memes of me being small are pissing me off. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not.
Because I'm the
small.
tallest person here.
You're not
not.
taller than me.
You're not taller
Honestly,
than
you
me.
just keep sat down then. Someone else stand up. Thank you so much.
We're all pretty tall.
Yeah,
here.
but like people are just stupid. But the diet. So I would not advise this because
Dropped the idea.
yeah, ignore. Don't you keep that down, yeah. But the diet, I mean, I do it very stupidly. So I train 6 times a week, but I also eat quite low. It's like 1,600 to 1,800 calories. It's not really recommended yet. So I'm doing like a.
It's not really recommended.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is,
I should be at
anything
like
you do.
2,000 and I'm like 90 kilos.
Yeah, but
not
he's trying to
110.
lose weight.
yeah. So
That's what
so
I'm saying,
my,
yeah.
my process is just strip the fat off as fast as I can, and then build again. You know, and then just go from there. That's probably not that healthy. It's working. It's
Well, at least
okay.
you're
I don't
being
look that
honest
bad.
about it.
Yeah, I mean, I do not advise it. It's hard, yeah? I drink like 15 Pepsi Maxes a day. It's like a meal replacement. When I'm hungry, I just pop a Pepsi Max.
Now,
But it's like, it's okay. My life's not that... my life's not that physically demanding, so I don't need that many calories. I just
Sure.
sit on a screen, you know? When I work out, I eat before I gym, but if not, I don't. I just exist. Not
okay.
doing much these days.
And 6 days a week. What type of split are you doing?
I'm
at the
doing
moment?
something called... I believe it's called an Arnold split.
Okay.
So it's first, you start off with a little chest. So you basically focus on one muscle each time. So that's why my titties are a bit big right now. So you go for chest, then we get the back, some lat pull downs, maybe some bent over rows, maybe some deadlift if I'm feeling myself. Next day, shoulders, little shoulder, you know, let's get some big shoulders. Then I go for the arms, which is triceps, if the camera can see that. I got some triceps. You touch that if you want.
Makes up 2/3 of the arm. I've heard.
pretty good, pretty good.
It's not bad for a gamer. Then biceps as well, and then legs, which we skip quite a lot. I have very big legs, but my friend doesn't. And that's about it. And then repeat. So people usually do push-pull legs, but I don't like that because I have a very free schedule. So I go to the gym at like stupid o'clock.
I see on your
People
Instagram.
that follow me know I gym every day at midnight maybe when I finish streaming. When I stream sometimes. I'm like a part-time streamer at the moment, but yeah.
Well, now you're a professional player again. You might be
Absolutely.
streaming less.
Yeah, it's still required a little bit in the contract, of course. And I enjoy streaming. I do enjoy streaming. But when you don't want to stream and you have to stream, it's the worst thing ever. And people say, "Well, I don't want to go to work." You have to. Yeah, I don't have to. Look, I'm spoiled in life. I can admit that.
But it's also different to go to work and just do a job
And exist, yeah.
and be in front of a camera. You are literally the only thing people are looking
then-
at. So like every your like sigh is interpreted
When you can't be bothered and
somehow.
someone's like, "Yeah, you look fat today," I'm like, I'm just gonna fucking turn my stream off. It's really, you all know it's people online are fucking brutal. So
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
okay though.
never had to be doing that. The music's even louder now.
It's
I mean,
fine. It's a
fucking-
party.
Let's fucking go.
How's you guys not dripping, by the way? I'm sweating me balls here.
Well, that's because
fine
you're
here.
a big guy.
He means that in the best way possible.
Yeah, let's put the biceps.
You're looking
down.
good though. Looking good.
Like
I
take.
got my new tailored pants and some.
I
new
saw
shoes.
that you were taking photos of your outfits today.
I'm trying to up.
But is it
My game.
a smart thing for you to have a tailored thing when you're changing
For my
weight all the
legs,
time?
it's fine.
The length of his legs.
Yeah, so it was more
Okay.
like for it to fit properly. Because I have an interesting fact. You claim to be tall, yeah?
Yeah.
Can you sit up straight for me?
Claim
Sit up
to be
straight.
tall.
So how tall are you?
Sit up straight or
He can't stand up.
how
The
tall
cable
are
is
you?
gonna
you
fuck
asking
up.
me?
Yeah.
190.
190. So I'm gonna sit up straight, and you're gonna be confused how my body's so long. Okay,
Holy
I have
shit.
I have the body of LeBron James. Okay, I have the
What
legs.
is this?
I have the legs of my mother, and she's 5'1". Okay, it's fucking. So when I went in there to get my suit made,
Can you stand up? Stand up. I'm
No,
just
but the
curious.
length of the cat is okay. All right, hold up.
You're,
Fuck him out.
but actually, he's. I mean,
I'm
he's smaller,
shorter
but
than
a
you.
little bit
I'm
shorter.
like 185. I tell you, 185.
Okay, got it.
But when we sit down,
Alright.
so when I sit down on a plane, I've never in my life met someone taller than me sat down. Evidently, I look about 7 foot. I
You
stand
do.
up and get shorter. It's
Holy
fucking, it's
shit.
fucking weird, yeah.
You are taller than me when you're sitting down.
I'm
That's
taller
kinda
than
crazy.
everyone in this room sat down, okay? It's not a flex, but it's how it is. So when I got my pants made, the guy said to me, "I've been doing this 20 years. You have some body." He went, "How the fuck are your shoulders so wide? Your legs so small?" Like, nothing
you're-
fits you. I'm like, well, yeah, that's your job, boss. Can you get this to fit me, please? And he did. It's okay.
You said you wanted the photoshopping to stop, mate. People are just going to do that even
Yeah,
crazier
okay,
now.
but
They'll
if I-
lengthen the torso, they'll shorten the legs.
I always tell people I'm built like SpongeBob, you know, got fucking tiny legs, or like a penguin or something. But that's a running joke between my friends on TeamSpeak, and now it's going to get much worse now I've said that. But I like to tell people that. But that's what's going on in my life. Gym, fashion, and Into the Breach, of course.
Into the Breach. Now,
Into
look,
the-
great segue. Great segue. So from the gym, getting cut into the beach for the latest. So
I'm a single man, but I'm driven. I'm married to the game, yeah? When I come back, what the bloody hell? When
We're
I
just
come
taking
back,
photos, mate.
fucking mother. When I come back after the play break and the whole team's announced, if I get the final piece that I want, it will be very good.
So far, we have you as the crowning jewel, the first announced.
Not a very shiny jewel, is it? But
Well,
more of a broken diamond, we'll say.
You stood in for FORZE. We won't talk too much about that.
I played well, though.
You did play well.
To speak fucking English, these bastards. Owen,
It's
don't
not
speak
about-
English because it confuses other people. My fucking bad. I'm opening on T-sign nuke with I'm not allowed to speak. My fucking bad. Like, no wonder I'm just falling over and nuke everyone. And then I was just like, this is fucking bollocks, but I tried my best.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
did
think,
play well.
I don't think your gameplay was the main topic of conversation.
Listen, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we just.
But I played okay. And that was with... I had like 40 hours past 2 weeks coming off a League of Legends grind, Teamfight Tactics. I was like full degening for 1 week. I get the message. I don't think I've told this story. I said to them, I can stand in, but you have to give me 2 days notice, yeah? I'm like, they went, not a problem, Owen, yeah? We probably won't need you. Bro, I wake up to a fucking message request on Twitter with a picture of my passport saying, is this you? I've gone, who the fuck's hacked me? Yeah, it's me. Right, you got me. What do you want? It's got my address on it. What do you want? I'll pay you. I don't mind. He went, no, it's the FORZE manager. So I guess I'm going to fucking Malta. Yeah, your flight's in 2 days. I'll see you in Malta.
Well, there was your notice.
I was like, what the? But I said, give me like, before you say we'll need you, give me 2 days. Not your
So you
flight's in
wanted
48 hours.
4 days notice, really.
However you want
See,
to
you
word
just
it.
said they didn't speak English.
Yeah, I mean, it was fucking Morse code, it felt like. It was
Mate,
like,
when you
oh.
rocked up, when I was doing the lobby shit, and the other lads were already there, and I was like, where's this guy? The only one I can talk to. Where's this motherfucker at?
Which is weird for me, is 4 of them speak good English. Well, I had 3 up because I don't speak that good English, so they speak good English. But the only one that didn't, which is Tania, like he understands, but he can't speak that well.
Yeah.
So that's why they said our highest chance to win is to speak Russian, and I heavily disagree because I put myself above Tania in the pecking order. I love Tania. I love them as individuals. They were like, I had a very good time. Of course, the organization, I won't get into it. I don't really want to give them much praise or whatever. But the individuals, it was enjoyable for sure, and it was nice. I learned a lot. Good guys. I wish them the best. Yeah, fucking. I learned some. I learned some shit for sure. Holy fuck.
A couple of life lessons out of that little trip.
I already knew them. It's just good to break a rule every now and again, just to slip up. You know, I was doing well. You need to fall over to get back up.
Oh, that's why Into the Breach picked you up. They know that you've just had a slip up, so they go, okay, we've got him good for a while now. Huh?
That situation is so unique. I don't like talking about it.
No, and that's fair enough. But
It's
look,
so fucking. It's just bullshit.
well, you've got thrown in now with a couple of other lads who like to get a little bit rowdy. The Bad News Eagles guys.
Which is fine. They like to scream at people. They're not
Exactly.
Doing
That's what I'm talking about.
No, but
man.
you looked at me. I like to get thrown out of clubs. I like to cross lines that shouldn't be. That's my kind of rowdy. They just like to scream. But I'm Synopsy and Juan. I'm very excited to play with.
You like to scream?
I couldn't at ESL. I can't scream English. It'll confuse all my players. I had to scream Russian. The fuck is this shit?
Well, it's going to be fine now. I think I like the mix. Those guys got the fire in the belly. You've got it as well. When are you guys announcing Rigon?
Rigon? Who's that?
He's a Swiss.
I could. No. I actually like Rigon too much to leak where he's going.
Wait,
but
so you're not getting him?
No. He's going to a team.
I thought you guys were going to get the call
He's
so that it'd
going
make
to a
it easier
team-
for you to qualify for the major.
He's going to a team. No, so the ITB's plan is, it got a bit spoiled with the whole major thing, obviously, but it's a long-term project. It's not a short-term cash grab. I explained to them that's why originally when they came to me, they offered me so much salary. I said, you've got to be sick to pay me that much. I'm not who you think I am, yeah? That is gross. So let's drop it down a bit and let's get a good roster. Because it was like, we'll give you this, but you have to play with these players. I said, I'll play for free as long as I don't have to play with these players. Yeah? I'm good. I've got a 40k watch on. I'm chilling. Yeah? I'm not playing with that guy because I'm not going to do anything. Yeah? I want to progress. I want to get better. I want to win. We had some very extensive talks with some people. We're still in them. And as I say, we're one player away. We have one more player signed. He's announced. My watch says, is it Friday today?
It is.
Oh my god, my watch. Is it the 16th? No way.
14th today.
Okay, this is wrong. I was about to say that's crazy.
16th is Sunday.
I never set my time. That's why I'm surprised it says Friday. I think on Sunday it's announced the 4th player. The 5th player, I think we're going to run a trial period for one player. And if it goes well, we should be able to sign him on a permanent basis, and that will be really good.
Is Synopsy going to in-game lead?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. No, I'm just so I could make sure, mate.
People that say that like Senna 1 was falling and stuff on, it's.
I mean, he was like
Synopsy.
3 years ago or something. But
I mean, since B&E have been good, I love Senna 1. I don't think he's been calling. He's always been the main man.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
What I'm excited for with Synopsy especially is how good he is mechanically, individually. And for me, rightfully or wrongfully, I do a lot of talking in-game. I like to help organize people CT side, T side. I like to remind people what nades they have, like just solve the puzzle, you know? And that's what he's missed a lot. So I'm excited to take some of that away from him and let him perform much better, you know?
He's also playing like the hard entry roles and all of these. Like
Synopsy won't be. If we play like an event now and Synopsy goes 0.8, please don't quote this because I still believe in him anyway, yeah? But I was about to say the 4th player who was entering. That was fucking dangerous. Let's not do that.
So
anymore.
you have an entry. That's what you're saying.
that
We
is
have
Rigon.
someone who likes to go first. Okay, so with Rigon, I will say people can do some fact finding because I've played for many teams. He's gonna join a team I previously played.
Big, there we go. He speaks German. We discussed this on a previous week.
I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Oh, who's Rigon?
But it would make
Big?
sense.
What's Big?
Yeah, we
played for
discussed
Fry.
this last week. Okay, so
No.
let's talk about a few things here for a second. So we got a 4th player that's going to be an entry.
Who's a major finalist? I can tell you that.
You're signing major finalist.
It's what we do. I mean, be careful. Be careful because some very bad players have played in major finals, yeah? But I'm going to say within the last...
He's a Legion. Is he a gamer?
Within the last 10 years, he played in a major final.
10 years. That's a lot of people. So
It's not as bad as you think.
It's gotta be Devilwalk.
For Farron.
What?
He's like mouthing.
Just say it.
Just say it. I'll tell you if you're right, because I'm allowed to leak it.
You are allowed to
You
leak
say
it.
from Gamer Legion?
What is that? What is that? No.
Kios.
No. 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 But I did want Kios originally. I'm very good friends with his agent, Sammy, but he has another offer, which I believe he took.
Okay.
Which is... You can probably put 2 and 2 together. It's quite a good offer.
Cloud9.
What the fuck is going on here?
I forgot he's from...
What?
He's Russian speaking.
Someone keeps leaking rosters on
he used to play with Simon Gaming with Perfecto back in the day.
And
He has a Belgian
nonetheless,
flag, but he has a good Russian.
Ramzik boss.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
But our play will be announced. I think it's Sunday, man. I think Sunday.
But okay, can I ask this?
No.
You guys aren't just gonna hold W like apes like Bad News Eagles did, are you? You guys gonna actually try and play some Counter Strike?
I'll try to take no offense to that, myself included. Yes, we are. Absolutely.
Okay. I'm just checking.
No. I mean, I don't know. For me, when I played in the Witches, it's not like the highest level of experience, but we did very well with what we had. It turns out some players were better once they fucking left me, and then they heard that like S9 and Cynics, they all started playing really well. When they're with me, they were not playing that well, but they got better, you know.
Are you getting Jax?
That's it. Is he a major finalist?
Did Jax make it to a major final?
With G2, right?
I think so.
I'm trying to remember if he was there.
I can't remember.
Nexa, Jax, Alexi B, Hunter.
No way, Alexi B played a
no.
major final.
No.
It would have been Nexa, Jax.
Hunter.
Amanek is the AWP. Amanek played major final. When Nico missed a Deagle shot, Amanek was opening.
Oh, yeah.
Could be Amanek. Amanek's really good, by the way.
Hey,
should sign him.
people in Twitch
There
chat
wasn't
keep
Alexi, by the way. There was no Alexi.
No
there.
Alexi
There
there.
was
Alexi was with Monasi.
People
Yes,
in Twitch
yes,
chat keep
yes.
the suggestions going for the entry, and I'll keep asking Smooya. He said he's allowed to leak it, so if we get enough guests in, maybe we
He
can
was.
get there.
Jax was there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Jax.
Who was there?
It's Jax.
No, it's not Jax.
Look at his face; it's completely different.
It's not. I mean, we'll see.
You said you're allowed to leak it.
We'll see on Sunday.
Oh, so it is Jax.
Look at his face.
Okay.
And you know what's good?
But then you need an anchor.
You know what's good? Jax anchors. I mean, I wouldn't know that. I mean, I would not know that. If Jax was, hypothetically speaking, if Jax was to anchor, he would be a good fit. But I don't know what Jax does. Jax is on the team.
Okay, so it's Jax.
That's announced on Sunday.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, so we need to get you a fifth. All right.
So the fifth, I can tell you, is currently benched by an organization. That is as far as I can go.
Could be.
It's obviously Perfecto.
What the you think? Imagine that. Perfecto into the breach. Wow. Korea just...
Perfecto and smooya.
What? Am I just here to leak fucking... You got me drunk. Are you taking advantage of a minor just to find out all my dirty secrets?
How old are you now?
I'm fucking old enough to drink this. I'm going to enjoy it when I drink it as well.
Coca-Cola, yeah, I'd hope so.
Get a good sip. Get a good sip in there.
Do you guys have a coach?
That's a sip and a half right there.
Oh, enjoy that, boys. That is a fucking double shot of rum and a baba boom. A baba booey. Huh?
Who's the coach?
I don't know if I'm allowed to leak this. He got an offer. Ooh, I can't say that. I don't know if he's signed. He used to be a part of Into the Breach. Oh, there it is. There it is. That's the alcohol hidden.
Thomas?
Thomas, my day one. We say that. Thomas is literally
your ride and die.
He is my ride or die.
Yeah. I thought
but it's not
Bev
Thomas.
was your ride or die.
Thomas was there way before Bev.
I'm just checking.
Thomas is my light when I'm in darkness. That is what Thomas is to me. He's the shining light that guides me on my path.
Was he a coach of Into the Breach
Is it
before?
Adam 9130?
Oh my God! Imagine that. Can we have a conversation about the side of the fucking team? I'm going back to playing.
Well, let's leak about other rosters now.
I actually don't know. No joke.
Is the Malbs news true?
I have no idea. I mean, generally I have no idea. But if they do, they still don't have a fucking IGL. So, and people that think like Nigo's this insane IGL, like he might be, but he played one event and they probably shouldn't have won it. Like, it's. I mean, you can. I would be fucking tilt if I was. I can't remember who they beat. Was it Vitality?
Yeah.
The final.
Yeah.
Like they'll be mad that they didn't win more than G2 is happy.
Oh, yeah.
They're like shocked they won. When they won, Stewie's like.
Apex is tilted off the face of the planet.
Yeah.
You can be sure of that.
But which is not a knock on G2. Like, of course they played insane, but like it is. It shows what CS2 is.
Should not win.
Yeah, it shows what, in CS:GO that would not happen.
What is CS2, Smooya?
Shit. Is this some kind of...
No, because here's the thing.
It's an over-glorified version of Valorant. You can kill people while moving. The first bullet isn't entirely accurate. When you shoot people with an AWP, they don't fucking die. The interp ratio is complete bullshit. I hate the fact that I sound like Loban Jika, but the most of what he says is sadly true, even though he actually is short, and I'm a little bit taller than him. I do love Loba, though. I do love Loba. But it is like that. And it's getting better. Of course, it gets better, but... I don't know. I didn't play the early stages of CSGO. I came to CS quite late when it was already quite developed. For example, I never used a running AWP or CZ when it was broken. I started like 2015, halfway through. It was already quite polished. Besides the headshot dink, that's the only bug I had when I played. Or the jumping scout. That was kind of crazy. But yeah, going from that to this, it's sad, you know? It is sad that... I mean, you can see the change in players who are insane now and bad back in the day and good now. Oh, again. Absolutely. Sorry, one second.
Your coach is going to be Trace.
He's going. Oh my
Wow.
God. He's going another one.
Smooya, we're trying to promote.
I get one more, please.
Fucker, now, mate. We'll get bogged in on that. But okay, so I kind of want to elaborate a little bit more here because when the pundits, which is us, and not just us, there are other pundits. Like we talk
There's
about
other very small pundits as well.
Yes.
Maui Snake.
Tiny. Yay big. Really nice in person, very toxic online. I like that guy. At all. But continue. Other pundits.
What are you? Okay. Anyway, we're talking about the win from G2 and all of that jazz. And holy shit.
How is he so fast?
This is like, do you know How I Met Your Mother? And you're like, thank you, Linus. You know, that's the situation.
You really
come on,
don't need to do this. This is definitely not.
Oh, that's my last one.
It's not advisable.
No, guys. Please don't do this.
But with this win, right, we see it happens. It's like Stewie hasn't played professionally for a long period of time at the top, upper echelon, and G2 go and win the event. And then people are like, it's all about the vibes of the team and the mentality.
That is true. That is true.
Obviously, it plays a big factor. It's
Yeah,
better
huge
playing
factor.
with teammates that you like than some fucking dickhead that you want to punch, right? Obviously. Right.
Sounds very personal towards me when you looked at me and did this.
I don't
but
want to
it's fine.
punch you, Smooya.
I'm completely vibes though, but you sound like you're talking for my ex-teammates.
You need
But it's fine.
your ex-teammates.
Yeah, maybe they want to punch me. Continue, sorry.
My point, where I'm trying to get with this is to see G2 win that event. For me, I'm like, okay, well, this is almost condemnation on the other teams.
I don't know what that word means, but
It means the other teams are shit.
Yes,
That's what he's trying to say.
I could piece it together in the conversation. I think it's a mix of Dallas isn't a write-off tournament for most teams. Of course, people want to win it, but it's close to player break.
It's not the major.
Yeah,
but
which
it's also
apparently
not-
only JL cares about. He doesn't care about anything else. These headlines that I saw recently. He's like,
Yeah, he
"Oh."
wasn't motivated. I actually kind of get that. You've
yeah.
beaten the game if you win the major.
Yeah, but with the G2 thing, you should never win an event with 2 players 0.9 rated or lower.
0.88 and 0.85.
It is fucking like clearly stats is not all that matters, but in stats there's an anomaly, and you could not show me another time a team has won an S-tier LAN with 2 players under 0.
And I will beat you to that bet.
There's one
Navi at the major.
Which major?
This
one.
major.
Oh really?
Yeah, Eman
was
Galaxy.
0.88. Alexi was like 0.85.
Maybe it's the new meta.
It
So
was
this is
very
CS2.
similar.
It's CS2 problem.
Wow. Okay,
Maybe
so
it's an MR12 problem.
But it was just as much of an anomaly in terms of like how they were winning
is
the
that
matches
real?
and stuff like
Him
that.
had 0.88.
Yeah, he was really bad.
Whoa, calm down. He might be here, man. Let's go in.
Look, I think he would. I think he knows. He's actually been doing a lot better since then, by the way.
Wait, is that real though?
Yeah, that is
That's
real.
fucking.
But I was
mental.
thinking about this, and maybe it is a MR12 thing, right? Because
I mean, yeah, it
there's
could
less
be.
rounds. You can get like more key
Like,
rounds
let's
that
say-
you win.
No, your rating should be higher though.
Like
In
obviously,
MR12, everyone's rating's higher.
no, but it's not about the rating. But it's more
If you
about
average
how,
it out, it's not higher. It's more or less. It's slightly maybe higher, but more or less the same.
Really?
Yeah, it's very similar, but it's not about necessarily like the rating make a difference, but it's more like individual plays, like clutches and stuff like that, will make much more of a difference. And
Yeah.
you say that like JL had so many fucking clutches, like in super key moments, you know. But obviously, like in MR12, that one clutch wouldn't have that much of an impact on a game, you know. Like
So-
it wouldn't have like
Yeah.
80% of the impact, and that maybe wouldn't have been enough for them to get that over the line, but it did.
What I've noticed when I was competing in the Witches and I went for the RMR and stuff, I was like one game away from making the RMR, and whatever. In CS2 compared to CSGO, the biggest thing I noticed is whoever, it's very cliche, but whoever makes the least mistakes will win a game. Example, if you lose a full eco and you lose a pistol round, you'll lose.
It's over.
Yeah, it's over.
You're
Yeah.
kinda fucked up.
So what I've noticed is in CS2, and what I've tried to bring myself is, I call it what is it called? Like a big round noob play or something. So for example, let's say I get a big 4K on Dust 2. I get a 4K, right? Next round, I'm peeking mid because I'm on fire. No one can top me. But I die. We lose that round. We lose money. We're fucked. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all you need in CS2 is like one big play in a game, and you win the game. Like for example, was it Anubis? Nexa won some like unthinkable 1v4.
Falcons.
He like
Yeah.
fell over and won the 1v4. He like dropped his gun and killed people in accident. I was like, holy shit, and just saved. And won. They didn't defuse, you know?
Yeah, even
It
he
like,
was surprised.
What the fuck is going on?
Even he was surprised.
They
he
were
won
like
it, yeah.
blinding each other and shit, yeah? Like
Yeah.
that round literally was the first gun round, which fully money reset them for the rest of the half. Like they're just fucked, you know?
That was a big
It's
swing
insane.
round, yeah.
And if you have like one or two of them a game at S tier, you just win instant.
It's
Yeah,
like
I mean,
Astralis on Nuke against Navi, right? They lost a pistol upgrade round, second
Yeah,
round,
yeah.
after winning
Oh,
the
yeah.
CT pistol.
JJ.
And that point, the money just fucking tanks.
JJ.
They lose that, then they get wiped.
But who was it first?
Navi.
Yeah, Navi on T-Side
this-
Nuke,
at
by the
this
way,
tournament,
are mental. I played them in practice. Of course, they were speaking Russian and FORZE, but I didn't have a Scooby-Doo what was going on while I was on fucking CT side. We beat them like 10-2. I was like, these guys are fucking shit. Bam, 13-0. I was like, I blinked and the fucking practice was over. What the fuck? They're very good on T-Side Nuke.
We should get the Skinionaire. and we
Yeah,
should move
sorry.
on.
I'm enjoying the conversation a lot.
I no joke. Now I'm getting a bit older. I miss you guys because when I only get to speak to you at events or thing, you know, I don't get to see you guys very often. Especially you with the little potato head, because you have like every time I look at you, it's a different fucking haircut. I'm joining you soon with it. My shit's pushing back to Turkey. I'm gonna go in there soon.
Go to Malta, go see my guy.
I'll get it done in London probably. I'm
Well,
gonna get
the
it done
Malta
soon.
guy's
though.
pretty good.
It's not about that.
What's it about?
I do not want to fly home with my head like that.
You can stay at mine.
Oh, that would be nice actually.
Have smooya over for a month.
You would hate. I saw like a wild boar.
It's alright, I got a big house.
We get it. We get it.
I'm renting, man.
Still costs a lot of money, which you make a lot of money monthly. We won't disclose that here.
Mate, they're not working this one here. You know, I'm just here for fun. But you know how I can make money? When we do sponsored segments like this. Who wants to be a Skinionaire? Brought to you by Trader.gg. You know how it works, Smooya.
I'm fucking drunk, by the way. Haven't drank in about fucking 16 hours.
Please don't get us banned on Twitch.
No.
He had 2
Banned on
drinks.
Twitch, what's he going to do? Show his dick.
Oh, that will not get you banned because you won't see it on this camera. I'll tell you that, yeah? The only way I get you banned is if I turn around and shit my fucking booty. There's no way my dick will go. Oh, go on, give me these. Oh, what is this? They sponsor this show?
What?
That name at the top there.
Trader.gg.
Don't say anything.
Yeah, I'd love traded. Let's go.
Now you're trying to go. All right,
go. I love
Lucas,
Traded.
are you ready to go, Lucas?
That's a low blow, that. Get that.
Doesn't matter.
Go on. Yeah,
let's not
Skinionaire
get
by
into that.
Trading.gg. Let's go. HLTV Confirmed.
All right, question number 1.
You prick.
Type Trader in chat right now if you want to get your raffle tickets in. All right, question 1. What's the biggest event won by a British player? Epicenter 2019 by Alex. Blast World Finals by Mezzi. HSH8 by Mighty Max.
Home sweet home.
Home sweet home cup.
Oh, sweet.
What's
No,
the
I'm not saying
biggest
that.
event won by a
It
British
has to be
player?
World Finals, no?
Okay.
Is that your answer? You're answering.
Yeah, but online you guys help me like, fuck, what is this? Wait, chill.
It's a
I
good,
know all the answers. I can't tell you.
It's good.
I would say the middle one.
Yeah.
Is that the best? It has to be. It was a lot. And it was insane when he won it. And it's coming home. He's winning it again in London. I'm going to be there with a big Mezzi flag.
You're going to be in there tomorrow?
100%.
All right.
Every time he plays, I'll play.
Union Jack or English?
A picture of Mezzi.
Just a picture of Mezzi.
And when he wins, I'm going to wear it. Just hug it.
Oh, that's nice.
Because what I don't like is people think that I don't like Mezzi because he's winning. No joke, it's insane when he wins. And when he won Blast, this is very personal. I cried.
Oh.
No joke. I get a bit emotional now.
Oh.
No joke. I was so happy for him. Because when Mezzi used to AWP on Vexed, when he was like fucking like way before Gamer Legion, he wrote me, hey man, I'm AWPing, like, can we join the server? I was like, of course, bro. And I helped him, and he's like, I'll never forget this, man. And when he won, I was like, that was nothing to do with me at all, but I can kind of claim it.
Yeah, that's nice.
But it was nice to see him win. I love Will.
When Justin won Katowice, I cried.
Yeah, of course. I mean, for you with Justin, it'll be more than me and Will, but it's comparable.
All right, question number 2.
Yep.
I think you got it right. I don't know. Let's keep going. Question number 2. Loading. Who of the following players has the most maps recorded on HLTV? CYPHER, smooya, or Surreal?
Surreal.
I think so, yeah.
Has to be.
I
Look,
would
that guy's
imagine,
been tier 3 for his whole fucking life.
Yeah.
120 maps past 2 months, 0.98. He's fucking there. He's your man.
He did play.
man.
He did play in an A for a long time.
He
They
is-
don't play that much
he,
there, but
he
still.
is your man.
He is like top 10 of all time,
Is
of all
he?
players.
He's your man.
Correct.
He's there. HLTV playing today. He's fucking playing at some point during the day. Probably he might be playing now. Let me check.
Okay,
gotta be
question number 3. Oh, dear.
What is this shitty? Okay, go on.
When did Alex play his most recent match? May of 2022, May of 2023, January of 2024.
English Alex.
Alex. The first one.
I have no idea. But
Because it would have
it's a while.
been where I got kicked and they tried to play an event to prove that they were better without me and finished last place at Pro League. They played G2 because Poison went plus 80, finished below 1, and they finished last place.
This is Fnatic.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to
Over
lock
there.
in
Because
May.
I got kicked at the beginning of 22
It could be.
and he tried to go to Valorant and actually turned down a good offer because he had a good CS offer and that fell through and then he ended up with nothing.
Okay.
Now he's walking around blast kissing people on the cheeks.
Locking in May 2022, that is correct. Great memory. That alcohol
I
hasn't
will not
affected you.
forget that. That's for sure.
All right, all
And I
right.
do.
Please.
I don't like Alex, but I respect him.
I wonder if
I can admit that
Dimitri.
as a man.
I wonder if Dimitri put this
And-
question together knowing this detail. I don't
Question-
Yeah,
think
of
so.
course did not, but
When I was on Fnatic, I had to adhere by a diet. And one of us looks more trim since then, so I think I've been following the Fnatic diet and Alex hasn't. Question number 4.
KFC, McDonald's. Question number 4.
Let's get on the bench press right now. Let's fucking go.
Which of these events is the most recent LAN with over 250k prize pool that was held in the UK? Blast Spring 2020, the ECS Season 8 Finals, or the FACEIT Major?
It's obviously not the FACEIT Major because I was there and I died in the quarterfinals to NAVI. What was the second one, sorry?
ECS Season 8 Final.
But I was there. That was when I. It will be
the final, right?
It will be Blast Spring. It will be Blast Spring.
No, but it wasn't.
It will be Blast Spring because I went to Season 8. That's when I got re-announced by Big, and I had a big fucking love bite on my neck in the announcement form.
But that's 2020, you said?
Well, it was
Blast Spring was 2020. I got told about this. This was the very intimate event where you could be very close to the players.
That was the group stage.
Ah, shit. This was still 2020, but that's still that one, I would say.
No, but it's COVID.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't?
No.
It
Not
was
for the group stage.
Like,
Okay.
the ECS was 2019, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Go on, click
do
it, click it,
do it, do
click
it.
it.
Locking
Good.
in
I
A,
believe.
Blast Spring 2020.
Go
And the
green.
correct answer is Blast Spring 2020.
From
4
baby.
from 4.
From the UK, baby.
We're going into
From
the
England.
bid for the clean
England.
sweep.
Well, these
Cats,
drinks
what
are
you
hit.
Full
doing?
on LAN?
Yeah.
It was with a little crowd.
Yeah, the intimate one.
Jason Lake was there.
That was just before.
Yeah, that's
just
when
before shit went.
Complexity beat, was it Vitality and stuff, and Jason Lake was going mental in the
Yeah.
crowd. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm the
Oh,
other
okay.
Complexity.
And they won the season. I think they won the season. In
Yeah, they beat Vitality and then Astralis, I want to say.
Blame F, Rush, JKS.
Oboe.
Oboe and Poison.
JKS wasn't playing then.
No.
They had
That was Rush. Rush was there.
Oboe instead of JKS.
And then Keita was the coach. No words on him. Number 5.
All
For
right,
$50.
question number 5.
Let's go. Let's go.
Which of the following is not a mixed name, but in fact a very real British esports org? Johnny Speeds, Granny Knockers, or Dick House?
Wait, repeat the question, sorry.
Which of the following is not a mixed name, but in fact
The middle one, Granny Knockers, $50. And because I'm drunk, we'll do this again when I double the prize. We will quadruple the prize. The winner will get a $200 skin and I will pay $150. It's Granny Knockers, go. They have a purple jersey. I know who they are. Granny Knockers, B. Look at him.
Locking in
$200
B.
from traded.gg. Thanks
Granny
to smooya.
Knockers.
It's coming from myself. My crypto
why are you
wallet.
signing
Lucas,
yourself up for this?
look. Bro, do you know what Into the Breach is paying this man? I'm comfortable, Mr.
I don't know where they got the money from.
I'm getting like 1K a year.
That's pretty good. Damn. All right. Well, yeah, it is correct. B. Granny Knockers.
$200 winner thanks to traded.gg sponsoring HLTV Confirmed with Sponge, Prof, Striker.
I almost
and
thought you were
me.
forgetting my name, but okay.
I know your name more than them
Okay.
because you're 190, but you're very short sat down.
Okay. Well, that's 5 from 5. Lucas, we need to pick a winner.
Lucas, that's a $200. $150 from me. Nexian. I think I know that guy.
Isn't that the guy from like Mouse Academy?
Nexia's with it. I think
What?
that's Nexia's.
Next year.
next
so
I think
year.
he went to OG. I think Nexius went to OG.
He did.
With Fiku,
He
who
did.
signed a lifetime contract.
I mean, if he
Don't
went
know
to
what
OG,
he had to do
he
for that.
definitely needs all the help he can get. Shout out to Vladi.
$200 winner. Guys, we'll get that to you. Lucas, please do not scam them. I will send you the money literally now. As long
This
as you
is
get
great.
the-
I don't need to do anything. You're
we'll
doing
get
it
it
all.
all too.
This is
No,
perfect.
it's thanks to traded.gg. Appreciate you guys, even though you sponsored me before and some good stuff happened, some bad stuff happened, but we'll move on. We're all grown-ups. Appreciate
I
it.
have no
Appreciate
idea
it.
about this, to be honest.
Oh, I will tell you when we put. First of all, we love traded. We love traded,
Yeah.
and I won't say it because it gets us in trouble. We love traded.
Okay. Let's get this guy out of here. Let's get his saga.
Well,
Final words.
I want to know what he thinks about. I don't know. Let's pick a team.
What the fuck?
Spirit.
Who's winning the event?
Not Spirit. Are they still in?
Oh, you said Vitality at
They're
winning.
playing
Now, I
against
want
Vitality
Messi to
now.
win.
Vitality versus Spirit tomorrow, and
Oh.
VP versus
Navi.
Navi.
Grudge match.
Yeah,
That feels like such a. Wait, who's out?
FaZe
FaZe
lost
just got out.
today.
FaZe Astrology
Falcons are
G2.
out. G2 are out. And
Oh,
Solar
the
out.
whole Monitor situation was so sad. You know that's his first red event in like.
Yeah, but he played one series.
I know, but it's still sad though.
It doesn't count.
But I respect him for like still trying to win. You know. Yeah, I want Messi to win for sure. Messi. But what do I think about Spirit? I don't know. I love Zontix a lot. I played a pug with him recently, and he was fucking crisp. But he's been a little bit shaky on LAN. You know, for someone that says, I don't care about LAN. Land gives me no pressure. That I see him fucking whiffing everywhere. I'm like, there's something fucking's getting to you. I don't know what it is.
That's kind of what happened.
Yeah, it's really weird because at the beginning he was like the cold-hearted killer, you know. No one expected it. He was like slaying everyone. Actually, I mean, he's still very good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. Spirit's unique. Donk's also. I said this. Once you know how someone plays, it's easier to play against. When you come against like this unique gem out of nowhere that's just wide swing every angle, and you know he's gonna. If you play Ancient, he's peeking you heaven 1 minute 40. He's swinging banana, no fucking nades. You can play against it, yeah. He's still probably the best player in the world individually, probably without a doubt actually. Zao was a close second.
Now Monacy.
The thing with Monacy is, individually, yeah, it's those three, right? It's like the Mount Rushmore. It's so hard. Like, one time you see Donk play well, you're like, I've never seen someone play well. But then you see Monacy flick everyone, you're like, I've never seen someone do that. And then Zao just reminds you who Zao is, and you're like, okay. And then I'm down here somewhere on the floor, just fucking stinking it up against the breach.
All right, what's happening with Liquid?
No idea. I feel sorry for them because they've spent a whole lot of money and not got much for it.
All right. All right.
No major, no nothing.
What else we got for you? Who's your favorite caster?
Oh, ooh, who the fuck casts? I always mute streams these days because I feel like I lose ability towards like.
None of them.
I see casters say stuff and I'm like, you are level 8 on faces. Like you are a noob. I do really love Hugo and Harry.
Such a personal
You like
attack.
Hugo and Harry?
No. I like all of them. Now I think about it. no, wait.
I mute them all. They're level 8. I like Hugo and Harry.
Like for example, Launders and Scrawny. Like it depends the mood I'm in. If I'm in a bit of a yap fest,
yeah.
Scrawnders and Launders and Scrawny. These people.
Scrawny and Launders.
Scrawnders and Launders. What are we going to call them? The homies. Hugo and Harry are always up there. You cast sometimes. I like this
sometimes,
but I think it's because I like you, so that's why I can put up with what you're saying.
Okay.
Otherwise,
it's not because I was an ex-professional player who played at 4 majors.
When you played at majors.
Come on, mate. I still fucking played.
Not against me, and if you did, I'd have fucking owned you.
We're from different generations.
You are. That is a true thing to say. You're 2 generations.
This is like LeBron versus Jordan.
No, this is like
versus
Kareem
Smooya.
versus Anthony Edwards. That's what this is like.
I don't know anything about normie sports, mate.
But yeah, I would say Hugh and Harry are my favorite. Yeah. Like if I put them on, it's gonna be good for sure. There's a couple of fucking snooze fests, that's for sure. I will not say names. Will I? Not in person. Not in online. I would. Not in person. There is some people that should not be paid what they're paid to cast. That's for sure. So people should be paid more. You do analyst work, but not casting, right?
Here and
on
there.
a desk
Here and there when it happens. Yeah.
Okay.
Should I be hired more?
You should be.
There we go.
Not by me though.
Everyone hurt. I mean, why the fuck would you hire me?
He's going on events now as well.
ITB they're gonna be relaunching their own events to help the grassroots of UK competition.
That's wonderful.
And female competitions.
Okay.
Which will be played by female.
Oh, we're getting into that.
Whoa. You calm down, Mr. Short Body.
Let's get him out. Get him out of here.
Anything else you want to say before we get rid of you?
This is a very dangerous thing to say.
No. Thank you for inviting me, first of all.
Thanks for coming.
Whoa, the headset just went dead for a second. I thought it was like...
Yeah, it's happening every now and again.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. Thank you to Blast for putting on the nice stuff. So is Revolut. Thank you to Trade and all the sponsors. Yeah, make sure you guys tell your parents that you love them and work out. That's all I have to say, really. Nothing too crazy.
Great
Thank you, Bowen.
Because you never know when this all ends.
That's very ominous, but also very profound.
Very true. Very true.
And I have a lot of love for people in these chairs.
All right.
Thank you.
Me too.
Even if you have short bodies.
Oh, that's all right. We'll work on our bodies. All right. Thank you for your time. We'll say goodbye to you now. We'll bring in Hawka, and then we'll close down the show. And
Make
we can
sure
talk
you
to
let Hawka know that I like him. Oh, is he cast? Yes. No.
Sometimes.
Analyst smart.
He's
good. He should get hired more. No joke. He's a smart man.
Oh, we'll let him know.
He's a smart man. I'm gonna take these to the bar.
I'll take these. Thank you.
Chat.
All right. Well, Smooya's gone. He shouldn't have
don't
drunk.
fall over.
He shouldn't have drunk like that. It was very irresponsible.
It was just Coca-Cola.
It's very irresponsible, wasn't it? All right. Let's bring Hawker up and let's get.
All good.
Thanks, Smooya.
You can do it yourself. You're a
professional.
Okay. Hello.
Can't mess the hair. I see that.
Yeah,
Can't
it's
mess with the
important,
hair.
mate. Wait, are we on now or no?
Wait, we're on.
Are we on? Yeah, we're on.
We
It's
are.
a hot swap, as they call it.
This is on broadcast. This.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, all of it.
Wow, the standards are low, eh?
Well, look, we're a little bit more.
Fuck.
That was an early blow.
We're quite grungy. You
I
know?
see.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
part of the
Honestly,
aesthetic.
this might be one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
It's fun.
So
Wow.
stupid. It's so loud.
It's great.
Insanely loud.
It's a bit loud.
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
keeps the energy
But
going.
I like this version of the live element because we get to all talk to each other and see each other, but we're not presenting to an audience. So I
Yes.
don't feel like we're entertaining other people who are in the room.
We're entertaining ourselves.
we're just
And
talking while it's all
people
going on.
online, which we love the most.
Yeah, and hopefully they're having a good time. Hawka, thank you very much for joining us here this evening.
Thanks
For
for having
people
me.
who may have missed it, you were doing some analyst work during the group stage. You've also been putting out some good YouTube content if people want to go and check that out. What's the YouTube channel?
Just Hawka.
Just
also,
Hawka.
good is subjective, Chad. You know, you got to be careful with that.
Oh,
You can't even call
good.
people good anymore. What the fuck is going on?
I think it's good.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
But you know,
It was nice. I enjoyed it as
There we
well.
go.
Yeah, it's a good I love a good shower with video. So I usually listen to you naked.
Wow.
But
Nice.
But just for hygienic purposes, nothing
Yeah,
else.
sure. That's
And-
exactly what I was going for.
And you
so.
know, it's good. It's good. Some good thoughts out there. Gets your juices flowing. Creative juices, of course.
Jesus.
It's pretty nice.
Jesus.
How
Good to know.
How did
Our
you
thoughts.
find the group stage?
I think
From a personal perspective, maybe a Counter-Strike, you can go either. Wherever you want to go with that.
It's just so weird with the vibes of G2. I found just so weird.
Yeah, you were
I-
doing the desk when Monacy arrived.
Yeah, that was strange. Constantly looking over your shoulder. We didn't exactly know. We were told
You're
a
filling for
random
15,
time.
20 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, we were told he's gonna show up at 9 past something, and we were like, okay.
This is London. That's never going to be the
I
case
don't
with
know about
fucking
that.
cabs, man.
It was a lot of fun though. It was just weird with G2. I'm not gonna lie. I fully felt like they were just zoned out a little bit, kind of, right?
No.
So it's weird when it's some teams I feel needed this event a lot, and then some of them are just kind of here.
Yeah.
We've had that a bit in recent events, though, haven't we?
I do think, though, and I don't know if I'm the only one reading too much into this, but I saw Taz kind of make what seemed like a little bit of a throwaway comment, saying something I just that he wants the full team to play. That it's really important for them for the full team to play at least one game. And the way I read into this
is the end?
That this could be the end, and that's why they just wanted to run the one last hurrah, one last game together, and that's how we end. Because imagine they end on a game where Taz has, or on a tournament where Taz has to stand in, and then that's the last time Nexa and HooXi play for this team. That's what I read into it, at least. I don't want to say that that's necessarily what he said, but that's how I interpreted it.
Yeah, there is something to it. I mean, it's just a weird situation overall in G2.
But they
We
should
have to-
change roster.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just the fact that they won in that kind of a fashion is just that there is potential to win, but you're actually not very close to doing it. And the one time you do it is something that's completely unrepeatable, not only because, we're not good enough, because, this constellation of players will never play again together, and doesn't make sense to play together. And everyone that knows anything about Counter-Strike is
You were talking about the Stewie.
the Stewie situation in Dallas, right? This is not going to happen. So, but we won. So it kind of puts everything in disarray. And you said this is going to lead to some stupid roster changes. The Malbs thing is not that bad, honestly. If that's what they're going for, it kind of makes sense. It does also. I mean, we can talk about it. I'm not sure how it fits role-wise. Who is getting displaced where? We are presuming it's HooXi going out. So from the T side, I feel it makes sense. Entry opening player, Space Maker, and Malbs coming in for that. But then
But
for
it should be HooXi and Nexa. They
But the-
both need to go.
But then for the CT side, Malbs, you want him in. He wants to play a rotation.
But there's 2 anchors that you're replacing. So,
Yes.
But I saw somebody. Okay, so this is the thing. This is why I think it has to be both players going.
Yeah.
Because if you have Nico in-game lead and Malbs, you can have both players as space takers, right? And aggressive riflers. That's okay. Right? That's not a problem. I don't think you can have an issue there. And also, someone said that out of the 14 positions, they only share 6 of them. I haven't investigated myself, but I saw something on Twitter.
Okay.
So there
It's
is
the
some.
CT side, yes.
Both.
Okay.
There is some overlap, but not drastic. But if HooXi goes and Malbs comes, but they also need a better anchor than Nexa. right? Because you're also, I think Hunter's probably the one that would get displaced a little bit more, right? But I think that needs to happen considering his output at the moment, and if they can try to redefine himself as well. And then Monacy's obviously great. You're bringing a solid anchor, and then I think you have a conversation. The biggest question is, can Nico actually in-game lead then? Right? Because you need more firepower.
But I think the mistake is if they make 2 roster changes and they swap the IGL from HooXi to Nico, I think they're underestimating how much work there's going to be for the IGL. Because Nico calling mid-round, obviously he knows how to do that. But how to set up a whole system, he has never done, right? And he also has Taz here, who good IGL in his CSGO days. In CS2 as a coach is a completely different thing. And I feel like they're gonna realize very soon that it's a big change that they're making. So so in my opinion, they should stick to one change.
I also think that this Dallas win had nothing to do with anything. I think this was already decided kind of beforehand that they would probably change at least one of them, if not both of them. So I actually don't think that Nico will, even despite what I said, I actually don't think that they will make Nico the in-game leader.
Do you think they're finding a new one?
There's one reason the more I kept thinking about it, there is one reason that kind of stands out for me why they wouldn't make why G2 wouldn't make Nico the in-game leader, is because how close was he to leaving the Falcons, and why? And like all this, like, do they want to put so much power in Nico's hands at this point when he was just out of the door half a year ago? Obviously things have changed. Monacy is probably a massive reason for Nico to stay if it's up to him to stay. So maybe things are different now, but just from that perspective, I'm not sure G2 would want to make that move.
So like,
necessarily.
do you think like there's a chance he would switch to in-game lead for G2 and then at that point he'd leave because he wanted to just rifle elsewhere?
But I mean, let's just remember Electronic going to Cloud9 to IGL, and then like 9 months later he's in Virtus Pro as a rifler. Like this is a realistic. And where is Cloud9 now after this? Because they put so much faith in this, and now they don't have anyone. Right?
Yeah.
So, and it's like, it's not about that I would expect him to leave after that, after they give him the power, but it's more like from G2's perspective, do they want to take the risk of, first of all, they don't know if Nico will work out long-term as an in-game leader. Second of all, he's already one that has, I'm sure, a lot of power in the roster. Do you want to make him also like the be-all and all of the team? I don't know if that's, if I was an organization, I would put so much power in one person's hands and take such a big risk at the same time.
The question is, how long is his contract? Has he re-signed? Has he extended? Like, if he's going to extend and then get that, then that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, maybe it could be.
To make him, obviously he has been G2 for the last like 3 years.
Yeah.
No way around it. But it's a lot on the line there.
Yeah. What do you think, Hawka?
I don't know. I will say, like, G2, I was getting the feeling that, like, I just feel like any in-game leader that comes in, I'm like, there's maybe 2 that I could pick. I'd say Karrigan and Shuhi. I'd be like, those would work. Everyone else, I'm kind of like, I almost feel like they want to be putting too much of how they want to in-game lead into the server for the other players. So it almost feels like a cursed team in that sense, where like you've had Alexi. I mean, I know it was slightly different roster. You've had Alexi. It didn't seem like that clash went well enough.
You need an alpha, right? Like that type of a leader that's going to come in.
But you also need someone who's like going to allow the players to feel like they're getting what they want at the same time. It's like all these different things you would need for a G2 in-game leader, and I don't see like many in-game leaders that have all those things.
People in chat are suggesting Cadian. I would say unless anything has changed, unless anything has changed in recent times, there is absolutely no way in the world Nico would play with Cadian. So unless something has drastically changed in recent times, there's no way in the world that would happen. And it doesn't make any sense.
Also, especially considering how it's just gone in Liquid, where they've given up on him half a year into the stint. And so, yeah, do you want to take that risk?
Yeah, I think
he's also an AWPer, by the way, which, when you have Monacy at the same time, maybe not the best idea.
I think your angle of not wanting to give Nico power, like I could definitely see that.
It's not like giving him power. It's more like over-relying.
Putting so much eggs into one basket, exactly, yeah.
Well, either way you want to frame it, either way I can see that as an argument, right, for sure, and I'm not dismissing it. But I think, if considering who he is and that he would probably want to transition into this at some point in the future anyway, if this is an opportunity that you could try and take now, and the players that you're going to bring in are going to be younger, because the problem with G2 was they were an old team, right?
Yeah.
HooXi old, Nexa old, Hunter old, right? Like, well, not ancient, but let's say
They're
aging.
hitting that
right?
like
Exactly.
27, 28. you know, mark.
So if you keep Hunter and Nico as the two older guys, right, as the backbone of the team, and then you have m0NESY as the young star, and then you bring malbs in, and then you bring in another younger, like, anchor, okay, then you can start to worry about the future of G2.
Perfecto.
Yeah.
Perfecto could be good, right? Perfecto would fit quite well, I would say. And
I do
he's
think
also very experienced, and he's young.
I don't know malbs, but I do think there's maybe a lack of voices at that point. Well, maybe not with m0NESY at the same time.
I
It's gonna
think
be kinda hard.
m0NESY is always going to call his shots.
Yeah.
Hunter is going to be quite vocal in how he's kind of seeing the game.
Yeah.
Nico, obviously, if he's going to be
Yeah,
leading.
fair enough. Never
right?
mind. Dismiss. Dismiss.
And also, I think somebody like malbs, he doesn't strike me as the type of guy. Malbs strikes me as the type of guy who has an ego in a good way.
Okay.
Right, based off the way he plays Counter-Strike, I feel
Right,
like he
yeah.
has an ego, right? Like,
I don't know him at all, so it's hard for me to judge like personality or anything
well,
like
he
that. It's
definitely
hard to
doesn't
say.
walk around like a guy who's looking at the ground.
Okay.
I'll say that much.
I haven't seen him at any of the events where Medi were, so
He's
it's,
quite
I
a
can't
chatty
really-
lad. He,
Okay.
he wouldn't come up to me and start having a conversation, right? But within his group, right, I feel like he would
Got
definitely
it.
be talking.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know. G2's like, this is, as far as this roster is concerned, I think this is the end of G2. I would be surprised if they don't make a change, because it doesn't feel that you're going to get the best out of your players in this roster. That's just how it feels.
Yeah.
But I guess we can maybe look at some more of the positives. NAVI playing some of their best Counter-Strike we've seen since the major. How did you feel about getting eyes on them?
Yeah, it was good to see. I guess it just comes back to, it does just kind of feel like when they have a bit of time to prep, they're just way better as a team. But I still love just Blade and HooXi together. It is the classic team that feels like it's every analyst's dream of like, yes, Blade, HooXi, oh my god, give it to me. But then I have started to lean more on the side of, okay, I love nerding out on that stuff, but also players are actually really important. Like, the amount of games that I saw, or the amount of maps I saw, where I was actually just like, you know what? In some of the really important moments, players stepped up and they actually just won maps. I've started to lean more on that side recently, because I used to love like Big back in the day. I'd be like, yeah, they're coming up with all the new nades. They're great, man. And then you realize actually, but what have they actually done? Have they actually won? I mean, I guess not. So, you know, they kind of feel like that team right now where, yeah, the star power is probably just never going to be what you want in this current roster.
They have a winnable side of the bracket, though, right? They're going up
That's
against
true.
VP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they could make a finals appearance again, which would be a good return to form for them, and maybe something to give them confidence going into the break. Because if they ended up dropping out and not making even the playoffs, or let's say they made it to today's stage and they got knocked out again in abysmal fashion, then maybe, because we already know that there could be conversations about a change, but whether or not, like, it's likely. I think if you won the major within the season and your results weren't terrible for the rest of it, then you should give it another go, right?
Yeah.
Because you know you've seen the peak, right? And that's a peak where you lost more rounds than you won and still won the major. So can you milk more out of it? Give it a chance, unless you have better options on the table that are going to plug straight in and make a lot of sense. And I think maybe just keep plodding along, get more out of these players over time.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think at that point it becomes more about options rather than that they will actively want to change
Bit
somebody.
looked fucking great, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, he's been obviously here and there maybe disappearing, but he's
hit
been
miss
kind of a
for
rock.
sure, but when he's on, he's
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
sick.
for sure.
Entering, he's AK sharp as anything. When Bit is playing his best game, he's to be feared, but that's with a lot of Counter-Strike players, right? Consistency is the key factor in Counter-Strike that I think we're all hoping for, and we all have this Astralis glazing from 2018, 2019, and we hold every team, even whether we know it or not, to that standard. We do, right? Because when we have an era of Counter-Strike that we have right now, nobody's happy. Everything's a fluke, or everything's these guys are shit, or like every week it's a different conversation. We're just in a flux period of CS right now where there's a lot of rosters that look and feel unfinished for one reason or another.
Right.
And that is probably the reason that we have... Look, I think what you and I were talking about in the car is quite key. You said that you think like the ceilings of these teams can be quite high, but the floor is the problem.
Yeah.
The floor of these teams, a lot of them can be fucking miserable.
I mean, the way
yeah?
teams lose rounds today, it feels almost the worst ever. Like how many different teams can lose crazy rounds, like on a daily basis, basically, like where they will just throw away a 2v5 just because they all overpeak. Like how many times does that happen just out of nowhere. Like, how does an experienced player do this in a 5v2? You know, how does nobody tell themselves, okay, this is a 5v2, just let's calm down. No, let's peek. And this happens to literally every of the top 10 teams. Maybe like apart from Spirit, like that's kind of the only team that's like don't like over peaker as fuck, but everybody else is like chill in that aspect, you know. But that's from that aspect. That's why I was saying the floor is pretty bad.
I guess, okay, with Na'Vi, how many players do they have that are elite in their position, do you think?
Like, I guess provenly elite.
No one? Not even Alexi?
I mean, you could say that.
Okay.
I think that the two that, like, if they continue to have positive results and positive signs that could be in the conversation, still with proving to do, is Alexi and Wonderful.
Yeah.
Right, those are the two.
Yeah.
Right, I think the thing is, Bit, we've seen his absolute extreme peak of Bit, at his absolute best, right? But for him, I think, I guess he would be the third. He would be the third in that conversation.
To be honest, he's not been as good as he was before, which is the weird part. Just to see someone he can hit the peaks, but the consistency is just not there as it was like the end of COVID from online to LAN era.
Previously, he was the rookie. Right now, he's the one in the team that's won 2 majors.
Yeah.
Like,
that's kind of crazy.
You look around and you think about his age and everything, and Imma and JL are both very fresh to this. Wonderful as well, but I think we look at him as another one. Look, the problem I have is all these little anime AWPers, they're just an anime in my head. Like Wonderful, Monacy, Zaiwu. Like someone should honestly, one of these TOs should spend money and do an anime of these AWPers. It'd be fucking sick. Like I'd watch it.
Fair enough.
You guys are not.
No,
into
I was gonna say
All
about
right,
Bit. I
just
think
me.
the role change definitely put him in outside of his comfort zone because he's always been an aggressive guy. I think he was thriving in more of the rotator positions in CT. He still has a lot of active positions on T, I would say, and he still shows these peaks on CT. But like having him anchoring B on Inferno, like it doesn't feel good a lot of the time. And so from that aspect, I just think he's hamstrung a little bit in this team because of what he has around him, because he has like Imma, who's just always going to have to be in aggressive positions if you want to make use of him. So I wonder if that's going to be like the next iteration of Navi where they realize, okay, we have this guy who does thrive in all these aggressive positions. Let's put him back there and let's get somebody better on the sides, you know?
That's just smooya. He's just having fun off cam.
But I don't. It's just a theory because I actually don't think that Imaz deserves the kind of hate that he's getting now because of the major. Because that realistically, since Simple left, Imaz's been pretty consistent outside of the major.
I don't think any of the players deserve any of the hate that they're getting around the clock. Like the fact that Monacy gave an interview and said, "I think we deserve hate. I understand English is his second language. No player or team, unless they're throwing a game." Deserves any form of hate for losing a match of Counter-Strike. Cheating or throwing a game. That is the only time that you should deserve any form of hate.
I mean, he means like criticism and that.
I understand what he means, but people are going to take it literally. Remember, we're dealing with the majority of a community that has English as a second language. Right? None of these players should be hated because they have a bad performance. We're talking about the elite level Counter-Strike players in the world not performing to a standard that we've set, again, based off the erections we get for Australia's 2018-2019. Because they just set such a standard that we think that everybody should live up to that. No, really. Like,
I mean, no, but it's also about the standards that the teams themselves set and then they don't meet. That's mainly where the hate comes from. It's like, why aren't they as good as they were before, you know? And
yeah, but it shouldn't be hate. It should be disappointment.
No, I'm just saying that
we're going very meta, but like the problem is everything is relative, you know, and you know, just because we want all the teams to be good, but it's impossible because someone has to win a game.
Someone has to lose.
And someone loses, and then we're like, he lost because of this, and they won because of this. But there's like so many gradients between this in like every player's performance. No one's ever going to be perfect, and that's it. And just the fact that no one is that much higher than everyone else that they can win consistently doesn't mean that everyone's shit. It's just like there's a lot of really good teams that all have some issues, and that's it.
It's also like viewers, they don't see it from like the person. They see it from being annoyed at the player in the server, right? Like they're not hating the person. They're just like hating what they do on the server. That's how I try and reframe it in my head if I was a player. Don't know how well it would work, but that's the sort of thing you have to say, listen, okay, they don't actually hate me. They're just mad that I didn't shoot gun good.
Yeah. And it's also best, I think it's a lot of the time it's just best to do this IWU situation where you just like shut yourself out of social media, don't listen to any of that noise, and then you're just not going to keep thinking about it. I think that's probably the best way.
I thought for a while there Zywo had someone else managing his social media, but then I sent him a DM asking a question, and he actually replied to me. So I was
yeah,
like,
but was the reply like, do you know?
No,
him?
it would have been him.
But probably someone took that, WhatsApped him, he
maybe.
replied, and then that person copy
It
pasted
was
the
about
answer.
his mouse, but he replied. He told me it even maybe that could be the case. All right, look, we got 4 teams left.
Wrapping it up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Let's talk about the last 4 teams. Let's talk about how we expect this to go, and then we'll close it down for the evening, and we'll be done here from the White City House in Shepherd's Bush.
I'm gonna say that
You just doxed yourself.
Spirit is gonna destroy Vitality.
They lost last time.
I'm saying this so I can get another DM from Apex laughing at me while watching HLTV Confirmed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you.
But I also believe it.
And they're going to win the final.
Yeah.
Over either VP or Navi.
Yeah.
Who's going to win that game?
I think Navi.
Okay. All right. Hawka, how do you predict the final 4 to
It's
go?
just so boring if I agree with Prof, isn't it?
No, it's okay.
He's just right. That's the problem. This guy over here, he's just right. He's just right. No, I agree. Yeah. I just think that Vitality, I just don't trust them to be consistent. I don't know. Their style doesn't seem consistent to me. They go so aggressive sometimes, and then they shit themselves because they lose some aggressive rounds, and then they go really passive. And I'm just like, it just doesn't look good to me. It looks like they think, okay, we need to go aggressive all the time, and then suddenly we've lost confidence in our aggression. We go really passive, and then after a timeout, maybe they go back to being aggressive. But I just don't believe in it consistently. That's it for me. And yeah, I actually think Spirit have been pretty damn good. Like Shiro's been really good.
The other side of the bracket?
What's the other side?
VP Navi.
It is VP. Okay. Yeah, I just think Navi are just slightly better across the board, and I think they've had the prep time.
Okay.
I back them, but I just think Spirit, like, decently above everyone else at this event for me.
Who needs the trophy win the most out of the 4 teams we have?
Probably Vitality, because they fucked the last 2 events to such an insane degree that's like, for their mental, surely they need this win, because if they get, like, imagine they get to the final, they beat Spirit, they're like, okay, we beat the best team here, and then they lose to VP or Navi.
But I think Spirit is up there, though. I think after
so
like
too.
winning Katowice and then having this, like, I would say decent major, and then kind of this period without any tournaments coming back, and then I would say underperforming in Dallas and Bedlam Dacha, that they need another trophy to get back into the conversation for the best team. I think it's been a while since they won, and they need it.
Yeah,
Well,
I think so
who
too.
you got winning?
No, I had from the beginning, as I was saying, I had Spirit. Also because, as I said, I don't believe that Donk will have another off series against Vitality like he did last time. It didn't seem like Vitality did anything that specifically against Donk. I think he just looked off in general. He wasn't hitting the shots that he usually does. It sounds very simple, but that's what it looked like. And they also looked like they really shit themselves on that Dust 2, where they didn't even give themselves a chance to have any space, do anything with it. I don't think that's going to happen again in this Vitality series. Even if Dust 2 is played again, it's not going to go the same.
Pick D2 again. They've been picking it
Probably
pretty
they've
consistently.
been, which is interesting to me as well, you know, to have to go that way if you want to have a home map for it to be Dust 2. But I mean, we've said that about
doing it as well.
Yeah, that's true. And they also did it historically as well. Like, it seems like some of these teams just ending the same way, even regardless of their rosters. But yeah, anyway, I don't think that series was going to go the same way as last time. It just looked like Spirits did not play like themselves. So I'm edging into Spirit, and they're just going to beat whoever is going to come out of the other side. I didn't see this Astralis one from VP, so it's hard for me to judge just how much, like, what's...
The 2-0?
Yeah, it was a 2-0, and I only saw the beginning where it was like 4-0, and then
8-4 on the half, yeah.
Yeah, and into 4-12. So I can't really judge VP's form. So from that side, I mean, I would just edge it to Navi just because of pre-tournaments kind of expectations, and because they beat Space, they beat the better opponents on the way, probably.
Just quickly, what I feel with VP, okay, they've got Electronic in, who is getting them some faster rounds.
Yeah.
But I genuinely don't think James knows how to call faster rounds.
Yeah.
There was a round on Dust 2 where they didn't take A long at all. They waited like 30 seconds, and then they tried to push B fast afterwards. And by that time, the CT team were just like, there's nothing at A long, there's nothing at mid. We'll just rotate back to B, and they had players. So I'm like, I just, Electronic bringing ideas with James, it's going to take time for that to work. I just don't see it, but who knows?
I mean, that's been the case from the beginning, I think. We saw so many weird rounds when they were trying to do their fast things, and I don't know if it's just because, okay, let's follow Electronic and what he does, or what exactly is the situation there. Because, yeah, they still haven't had so much time to practice. They've had a really busy schedule, so it's hard for them to catch up or to sync up between him and James and what their ideas are and all that stuff. So, yeah, I guess we'll see after the season.
All right, cool. That's good stuff. All right, well, we've had a good show. Everyone happy?
Happy?
Yeah, everyone happy. All right, Hawka, if people want to see more of you, when are they going to see more of you? What's going on? I saw you saying you want to do some more analyst work in the future. Is that where you're trying to go with things a little bit more so than the casting, or open to everything?
Yeah, I mean, open to everything, but I think the analyst stuff, from what I've done, is fun. Also, I would like to do an analyst event where I'm not right in front of the players while I'm shit-talking them, because I was literally getting told, like, oh yeah, Apex in the background was going, oh, he's just chatting. And to be fair, I love Apex, so I'm not even mad at that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And he also is a good sport about that, so he's just going to shit-talk you for the fun of it as well, so he's not taking it so personally.
I'm also going to pretend if they win that I gave him the fire, so
Right.
if they win, I'm the reason they win.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
But yeah, analyst work, and then YouTube, Hawka. I will be chatting shit as always, so there you go.
Yeah, all right, perfect. All right, well, I got to thank all the people. Thanks to Blast for having us. That's on this one right here. And we've spent, I guess, a little bit over it's almost 2.5 hours. But this has been live from London. Thanks to OneXBet, thanks to Tradeit.gg, thanks to all the guests that we had. We had Andrew Hawthorne come on, the VP of Ecosystems here at Blast. We then had CYPHER from Bleed. We just had Smooya from Into the Breach. And to finish things off, we've had Hawka join us to close down the show and talk all things for the Blast Spring Finals. It is going to be the last event of the season, so make sure everybody's tuning in to get all the action for the next 2 days. We're going to have 3 more matches of Counter-Strike, maybe 4 if you want to count the show match. There's Fire League on, there's ESL Challenger Jönköping, so there's other CS that you can watch with, like Mongols and Complexity and all those other teams at the moment before we get to the end of the season. We'll probably do a show next week.
Yeah, like Wednesday or something.
Yeah, and then get into the break. So thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Goodbye from HLTV Confirmed. Much love.
Changing, but one thing remains the same: victories with OneXBet.
Are you tired of your boring old skins? Head to Trade It and trade them for exciting new ones within seconds. With 24/7 support, massive inventory, free giveaways, and low fees, Trade It is the highest rated trading platform in the market. What are you waiting for? Start trading today for a $5 bonus, only on Trade It.
Since the dawn of CSGO, we have been there. Observers of all that competition can reveal. Elation, fear, triumph and heartache reach out from every frame. From the small studios and conference rooms to the epic arenas, the feeling is still the same. We live and breathe this game. This was CSGO Through the Lens. Buy now at HLTV.org/shop.